Check 1, 2. Lacey, welcome in the Lacey Experience. I appreciate you tapping in. How y'all feeling today? Welcome in, welcome in. Dragon's in the building. What's up, Dragon? How y'all feeling today? Alex is in the building. Anastasia, welcome in as well. I appreciate you being here. Dan is in the chat. Thank y'all so much for tapping in today. Appreciate y'all being here. If y'all are joining over on TikTok, make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me for the day. It really does help out the live stream. We are getting things moving here right now. Nova's in the building. Nova, let me make sure I've got you and everything else where I need to be. Actually, we're not closed. Hold on. Ignore that. Hold on. I forgot to update a few things. So give me just a second to get everything updated. And then we'll get things flowing. Nova is in the building. George, how you feeling? I appreciate you tapping in. Nova, let me get you where you need to be. Yeah, Nova, you're already up on the board. Let me just update the stuff here. Alex, I appreciate you tapping in. How y'all feeling today? If y'all are joining over on TikTok or any of the other platforms that we're live on right now, we're live on 3 different platforms. Let me know where y'all are joining from. If you make music, talk to me about the kind of music that you make, how long you've made it, stuff like that. We'd love to chat with y'all for a little bit before we get things rolling here. Let me just update the line and some stuff on another platform. Why are you pissed, Alex? Why are you pissed? Rue, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that. I'm already interested. I'm already very intrigued. Is it Jaganos? Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. What are you pissed about? And also, thank you for the heart me, Jaganos. I appreciate you. Appreciate you a lot. I do music, dance music, and I'm working on a song since last July. Let's go. How long? You said you've been working on a song since last July. How long have you been doing dance music? That's really cool. What's up, Jaganos? Thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here today. B-Rock, welcome in. Okay, let me update a few things as we're getting some stuff rolling here. If y'all are coming in the first time, would love to chat for a little bit before we get things flowing. I will explain the whole structure of the live stream in about 3 minutes or so. Sounds good, Nova? Feel free to bounce around, keep the other tab open for the line, and all that good stuff will be ready to go. I'm aiming to do probably 6 to 8 tracks today, about 6 to 8 tracks, ideally 8 if I'm able to, if I have time to. Let's see, line is updated. Beautiful. Okay, line is updated on the other platforms that we're live on if y'all want to check that out. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Christopher's in the building. What's up, Christopher? It's a French song, very popular in the 80s here, but our local scene hates remixes. Really, that's interesting. That's it. Obviously, remixes are super popular here, so that's interesting that that it is hated upon. It's frowned upon to remix. That's very interesting. Tamir, welcome in as well. Can you play The Vesper by Jaganos? Yeah, I'll explain the live stream in a second here. There's a whole form to be able to submit, which I'll dive into here in just like 3 minutes once I get everything updated on this end. And then I'll explain the process to submit for the consultations that we do here, for the breakdowns that we get into, how to get everything moving the way that you want to. Danny, welcome in as well. Jaganos, thank you for the 10 TikToks. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your generosity. But yeah, we'll get flowing here in just a moment. So give me a second to update email over here, get everything refreshed, and then Chris Lee's in the building. What's up, Chris Lee? Welcome in. Play your music. Well, I don't want to get a copyright strike, so sometimes I play my music in between, but then I get copyright strikes over on the Red app. So, I mean, I can play a little something here. Creeked, welcome in. I appreciate y'all tapping in. If y'all are on TikTok, make sure y'all are, thank you for the friendships as well. Make sure y'all are sharing out the live. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen like crazy. And we'll get you flowing. We'll get you moving. Retrack is in the building. What's up, Retrack? Thank you for tapping in, boss. I appreciate you being here. Let me just make sure I've got you where you need to be as well. Yeah, Retrack. Nova, I'm going to push you forward just for on the other platform here really quick. And then we'll get flowing here in just a moment. Mayor Bright, thank you for tapping in today as well. I would love to listen to your music. I'll explain submission here in just one moment. We got Retrack in the building already, who's showing some love. He's incredibly helpful mod in here as well. So also a great producer. We're going to hear him probably at some point tonight as well. Thank you for the follow as well. We worked 80 hours to make it right, but they preferred the first version that doesn't work. Dang. Sometimes you just got to do it. You got to put it out there. Wait, then they approve it, but if needed, to pass the copyright, so in the right order of I see what you're saying. So you're trying to no, that's fine, Nova. If it happens, it doesn't really matter. So all it does is it means that it might have some limitations on where it gets played and stuff like that. It's not a huge deal. It's not like these VODs don't get like a ton of views or something like that. That's mainly like long form YouTube content and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, Alex, that is we were talking about this in yesterday's live. When you're dealing with copyright issues and stuff like that, getting clearances for samples and stuff like that, it can be challenging, especially if you're remixing popular songs. You know, sometimes if you think that what you're remixing is going to give you a lot of exposure, then sometimes it can be better to, especially if you're starting out, sometimes it can be better to just let them take the money from it. So a lot of times what will happen is they'll just claim royalty, especially on like YouTube, Spotify, stuff like that. A lot of times they are just going to actually claim that themselves. They're not necessarily going to like fight you and sue you for the sample or something like that. In certain regions, maybe they do, but it's usually very rare. Most of the time, they'll just be like, any money you make on this song, we get to take. But if it gets you a lot of exposure that allows some of your other projects that you do have ownership over to grow, then, you know, sometimes I think it's worth it. You know, sometimes you gotta kind of choose your battles and decide what you want to do. How do we get famous already? How do we get famous already? I mean, it comes down to connecting to a fan base, connecting to people that enjoy what you do, that, you know, relate to, you know, somewhat of your story or your vibe and your aesthetic and your charisma and stuff like that. So it's like, how do you get famous? I mean, I think it's just doing that at scale. If the people that, you know, are the most famous, have those things, and then have the ability, either through label structure, through their own upbringing, or in just their own, you know, pouring back into their personal business as a musician or artist or whatever it may be, to pour money behind the, you know, the fire that's already started around what they're doing. But yeah, I really just think it you know, becoming famous is a really interesting thing. It's kind of an interesting topic, but at the end of the day, you've got to connect with people. You got to have a large amount of people that enjoy and relate to what you do, and then of course, you know, fan the flame a little bit. Mayor Bright, I'll look at that here in just a second. Danielle's in the building. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let me get a couple things. Did it change the font? So I'm on TikTok Studio. So I don't see it. Let me check it from the phone though. Rozzy, thank you so much for the You're Awesome gift. I appreciate that a lot. Alex, where are you from? I might have missed that message earlier. Jordan Mokaman as well. It's for local radios. I don't want money. I just want to make it for local. Yeah, I mean, even local radio, you're going to probably have more limitations to what they're going to give allowances to, you know, give out allowances as far as like streaming and stuff, for stuff that does have some like copyright limitations and stuff like that. Nicole Gray, the show is on. Krista's back in the building. Krista, I've already got you up there as well. Okay, give me 1 second. I want to check the font really quick. Give me a second. I want to check the font. Thank you for the follow as well. Is it Maxi? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you so much. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. For those of y'all dropping in the chat as well, Alex, welcome in. We are not listening to popular artists. If you're an independent underground artist, producer, songwriter, musician, engineer, whatever it may be, that is the structure of this live stream. So if that is, if that's you or someone that you represent, that's what this live stream is for. But we're not going to listen to popular artists unless it's someone you're directly connected to, that you played a role in their project, and we can showcase what you did. Let me just check a couple things here, because people are talking, or Retrack said something about the font, so I just want to see, is the font different in the is it Datatha or Datha something? Let me know. I want to get your name correctly. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Anywhere that I have access to EFX. So I just made a song with John Oates. Let's go, Jeff. Come on, that's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I want to see this real quick. It looks bolder. Hold on. Did they update the chat? Is that normal? I can't tell if that's normal, actually. Maybe it is. Maybe it is bolder to make it like easier to see. Do y'all know? Does anyone else notice that? I'm not positive, because I'm not very often on this end of the chat. I'm always here as the host. So I'm kind of interested. I'm interested if anyone else is noticing that the chat looks bolder to them today. I'm actually not positive. I'm not very often on the other side. I join some other live streams sometimes, but it's not too often. Kind of just depends. It's been a while. All right, let me check a couple things. Oh, D to the K. That's what I think I called you, Datatha. This is why. Sorry, this is why names on this is why names on TikTok can get confusing, because it's like, is it Datatha? Whatever. I was like, but I think it's D to the K. But this is why names on TikTok get really confusing. D to the K. not Ditatha. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Okay, let me update a few things here. We're already 10 minutes in. Let's get some things rolling here. I've got some people in the chat ready to go. We're gonna lock in some music. We're gonna listen to some amazing songs today from some incredible artists, producers, musicians, so on and so on. No worries, Alex. Torvissimo, I'm doing amazing, man. Is that the newest speed? We have like pianissimo. We've got forte. We got torvissimo. What pacing? As far as like music theory goes, do you think torvissimo should be time mine? It's good to see you, time mine. I hope you're doing well. The link in the bio is not working. If it's not working for any reason, it's usually a regional issue. So you can either hold down on it and it'll open it in browser, or you can go to my IG, same name. I'm same name anywhere. If you look up Torvik Music, it'll be all over the place. Look it up on IG, and that will it'll be the same link over there. If that doesn't work, then I wouldn't know what to do. It'd be probably some issue with your own Wi-Fi or some server issue. But sometimes it happens, but it's typically a regional issue if for whatever reason you're not seeing a link or the link isn't working. So try holding down or try opening in a different browser or a different platform. Okay, let me get a couple things organized here, and then I will give my spiel. 220 decibels. So Torvissimo's loud. That's way past forte, double forte. That's loud as hell. Doofmo Productions, thank you for the follow. I like your name. That's fantastic. That's amazing. Let's see. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me catch up. Let me get the line back in order, and then I will give my spiel, and we will open up the lines. I'll explain exactly the structure of what we do here at Track Talk. So Danielle, I've got you. Retrack. We actually have like a lot of people from the other day. I don't know if McKay's going to come back in, but I'll keep a lot of the order where it's at right now, and then hopefully as people come in, we'll knock you right back into your spot. So Danielle, Retrack, Nova, already got you back in here. Krista, I've got you in here as well. We're going to get Alex in the building. Matthew's back. We got a full board of people that are already up on the board as well. Krista, I'll wait for you. I'll never listen without you. So you don't have to, if I call your name and you're up next and if you don't happen to be here, then I will always remember to save you. So if I don't see your name in the chat, or if I call your name and it's your time and you're not here, I'll make sure to wait for you. I want to, because I also like to, as you all know, if you've been here a couple times before, I like to interact. I like to ask questions with responses so I can learn a little bit more about the structure of what you're doing. So I want to make sure that you're here for it. Is lyrics looking for vocalist? Krista, beautiful, love it. Love it. Let's see. Alex, let me get you boosted to where at least I know the base of this line is right now. Matthew's in the building. So Matthew, I've got you where you need to be. I'm actually going to push you up to there. Fantastic. Okay. I think we're about ready. Let me see. Let me double check a few things. Get this refreshed. Jenna's in the building. What's up, Jenna? Was Torvik a Transformers or Bionicles kid? Vote below. All right, Matthew, I appreciate you tapping in, man. Welcome back in. All right, we got Danielle, Retrack, Nova, Matthew, McKay, Krista, Alex, Akil, Cooldown Extra, Soul already up on the board, ready to go. We're already flowing. Derek is in the building. Derek, let's go, Derek. Shout out to Derek. I appreciate you so much. I'm doing fantastic, Jenna. It's been a very productive day. I've been working in the studio all day. Got you, Derek. I got you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you so much. Been working in the studio all day. I have this huge rack I need to fill out, so I'm trying to facilitate, getting some gear out of here and getting some gear in here to fill out this giant 46U rack right here next to me, 45 or 46U, something like that. Right here next to me, it'll eventually be filled with rack synths. Maybe some modular and semi-modular settings. So it'll be fun. I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to get into the studio and what's going to go out. As far as some of the synths that I already have behind me, I've got a stack of keyboards back there, but those I need space. So I'm getting rid of some of those to only get a couple synths that I really, really like and enjoy. Libby, thank you for the heart me. And so that's what I've been working on some of that today, and then some other mixed projects today as well. So it's been productive. It's been good. It's been all stuff that I enjoy doing. Would anyone in the chat love to do a rock metal collab with me? I want to collab. Shout out to Nova. Let them know. All right, y'all. It's time for spiel. Let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know, I do mix and master. It's not my favorite thing to do. It's like I take on projects every week, so I'm constantly mixing and mastering. It's not. I don't enjoy it as much as the more fulfilling creative things for me, which is like playing music, coming up with sounds and creative ideas and structural things, like the stuff that we talk about in here all the time. But yeah, I do mix and master. So I mean, for those of you who don't know too, I I trained in studio for 2.5 years. I did a 2.5 year private mentorship, 2.5 year private mentorship at a studio where I worked with one of the professors of the Audio Engineering Institute when that was a thing here in San Antonio. Did that for a while, worked with this guy to learn audio engineering, live sound, studio tracking, all of that fun stuff. So, and ever since then, I've taken on projects and taken on clients for audio engineering and still do that. I was working on the early today. I had a mixed client last week, so I'm constantly taking on new mixing and mastering clients. It's just not like, it's not as fulfilling for me. I'm good at it, and I've done it for a long time. Done it for like 14 years, 13, 14 years. But it's not the thing that I enjoy the most. But I can and I do all the time. That's probably 40% of my business is revolved around mixing and mastering. All right, we got Derek Bennett in the building, but let's get into it. Let's get into it really quick spiel before we dive in. If you have never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. I'm very, very grateful that y'all decided to spend some time with us today. If you've never been here before, these are 20 to 30 minute consultations on the structure of your music. We're going to dive into your mix and master, your production elements, your sound design choices, lyric and song structure. We're going to get into the nuances of what you're doing creatively and practically within the structure of your music. This is not a quick review. There is no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. This is, like I said, a 20 to 30 minute multiple listen breakdown of that structure of your music. So if that is interesting to you, if that would be valuable to you, if you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all the details there. If you want to check the line, which I would encourage all of y'all to do over the course of the live stream and just keep it up on another tab, you can go to the other platforms that we're live on, which would be the red app and the purple app. You can find those at my link as well. Just got to be a little coded about their names so TikTok doesn't get mad at me. JRH, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Anyways, for those of you who don't know, just kind of like I explained a second ago, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14 years. I'm also a classically trained pianist. So the structure of what we do, the way that we have positioned this live is in that direction. This is not a quick review. There is no trash or pass. There are no ratings. There's no polls. This is strictly a long-form detailed analysis of the structure of your music. Let me double check a few things here as we're getting rolling. Derek Bennett, I do have your email. You are ready to go. Zine, I absolutely do listen to R&B. We will listen to any genre, any level of preparedness, any level of quality, and any style. So if you are a musician, you are a producer, you're an engineer, you're a songwriter, you're a vocalist, whatever it may be, or you represent those people, then that is kind of the perspective that we hold here. So let me double check a few things here, get these refreshed. Alex, I got your emails as well, and then we'll get things flowing here. If y'all are over on TikTok, please make sure you're tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people, and don't forget to send in your heartbeat for the day. It does really help out the live stream quite a bit. All right. And for those of you who don't know, like this is not, I'm not here to roast because people get worried about these spaces sometimes. I'm not here to roast you. I'm not here to tear you down. I'm not here to trash you in any sense. I'm also not here to hype you up. I'm not here to give you exposure. If that happens, if the algorithm decides to do something fun and you get some exposure, you get some new fans, fabulous. It's just not my priority. It's not the way that I've positioned this live stream and the structure of it because we take a long time. So if you are looking for a detailed breakdown, that's what this live stream is all about. We're about to dive into a couple tracks here right now. Boom, I think we're ready. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. You absolutely can. It's not request and it's not here in the chat, but if you want to submit, if you would like to send in your music for a 20 to 30 minute consultation and really dive into the details, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow all the details there, and we'll get you rolling. All right. Okay, so I got the vocals and choir back for the old hymn I'm redoing. That's what we're going to listen to today. Beautiful. We got Derek Bennett in the building. We are not, we're not waiting around. We're going to dive straight into it. We've got some amazing music to get to today. Quick reminder, if you do want to check the line, order, minimum, stuff like that, then go to the other platforms that we're live on, the red and purple app. Nico Teenagers, thank you for the follow. We're moving. I just uncovered my husband's Ola albums. Let's go. Let me double check a few things here. Okay, perfect. All right. Let's get it. Let me get this downloaded really quick. This is What a Friend We Have in Jesus. This is a demo. This is Derek Bennett. So they're remixing. I think from what I heard last time, it's kind of like a cinematic remix of a popular old hymn. So we're going to dive into some of those details. Kathleen, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Lily, welcome in. I appreciate you tapping in as well. So this is Derek Bennett featuring... let me get this. Oops, wrong place. Not to the download file. To... Is it Demiracle? Am I saying that correctly? I always have to kind of read through some of the... like figure out which way the name goes. I think it's the Miracle, right? Does that seem familiar to you? All right, but this is What a Friend We Have in Jesus. This is a demo. They just got vocals in and a choir that they've been working with. So I'm excited. No, absolutely not, Kathleen. All genres, all styles, all levels of preparedness, all levels of quality, all the way across the board. We might go from this track to a death metal track, straight into a trap beat, and then an EDM record, and then a lo-fi producer. It's gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be fun. That's the thing that I really like about this live stream. Is get an incredible amount of variety, and from all walks of life, all qualities and stuff like that. From early stages, people that have been singing for 4 days, and people that have Grammys. So it's going to be all over the place. It's been 3 months since I learned FL Studio and still didn't improve anything. Should I end it? No. I just think you have to find what your pain points are and address the pain points. I think if you're really like loosely trying to learn, then I think it can be challenging, right? But I think if you're like, okay, one of my pain points is my vocal is harsh, right? Or one of my pain points is dynamic control. One of my pain points is I don't understand EQ. Then hyper focus on that for a moment, get a good understanding of the language behind it. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate that a lot. Get a really clear understanding of some of those smaller details as opposed to being too expansive with the way that you're learning. And I do think that it is a little bit easier for you to grasp onto. Sometimes people they just buckshot, they're just like, I'm going to learn music. And that can be overwhelming because there's infinite things to learn, right? I've been doing it professionally for 14 years, but I've been doing it loosely for like 28 years. And there's still infinite things for me to learn. There's still so many ways to improve, right? So I feel like it really, I think it really just depends on how you want to approach your learning process. It can also be helpful for you to get like a mentor, right? Or, pay someone to help you out with the structure of what you're doing and kind of direct your learning. Because if you feel stuck, it just means you need a kind of a fresh perspective on it as well. Okay, let me see a couple things. And then we're going to get into it. My track is definitely going to hurt some people's ears, hopefully in a good way. I love it, Nova. Nocturne is in the building. Nocturne, thank you for tapping in today. Never ever give up. You will regret it for the rest of your life. You might. I'm Torvested in this convo. You should be. Just had to go at recording my first track, Nocturne. That makes me so happy. Let's get into some music here, and then we'll dive into. I'll answer hopefully some more questions, and we'll get into some stuff. But I took a long time yesterday, chatting in between. So I'm trying to be concise. It's not going to happen. So ignore me even saying that. But this is Derek Bennett. Let's get into this. They just got vocals in, so this is still a fresh demo. Don't even worry about the quality. Of course, everything's at my profile. Go to my profile, click on the link. Let's run it back. It's time.
Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to.
This is the Miracle.
Have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the
Okay, cool.
Lord in prayer. Take it to the Lord. In prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful who will all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Take it to the Lord. Take it
Choir sounds really cool.
to the Lord in praise. What a friend.
I like the progression change here.
Jesus, oh Lord. All our sins.
What's up, Rush? Welcome in.
What a privilege. What a privilege. Everything
he's tracking vocals, like what he's using at all.
everything to the Lord. Pray.
It's a killer production. Choir's sick. No, okay, no worries. Choir's absolutely sick, man. Really, really well done. All right, let's dive into a couple things here. Let's dive into a couple things here. For those of you coming in over here, I appreciate y'all tapping in so much. Welcome to the stream. If y'all are wanting to get your music played, if you're an artist, you're a vocalist, producer, songwriter, engineer, musician, whatever it is, if you would like your song played, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details there. If you want to check the line, the order, and the minimums, which I would encourage you to do, they're on the other platforms that we're live streaming on right now as well. So the red and purple app, you can use your imagination. All of those are at my link as well. But yeah, if you want your music heard, you got to get in line with everyone else, or if you want to skip the line, you can, but that's why I would say to check it. Just go to my profile, click on the link, you'll see the details there. Sounds good, Aiton. I appreciate you hopping in, man. Thank you so much for joining over on the Red app as well. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, I think. Yeah. I should be on tomorrow. Yeah, thank you for tapping in, man. I look forward to hearing it. All right, let's run it back from the top. What a Friend We Have in Jesus. This is a remix, like a cinematic remix by Derek Bennett. It's featuring D Miracle and then this amazing choir in the background. I think the choir might be my favorite part. That's incredibly dynamic. It sounds, the energy is absolutely beautiful. There's some things within D Miracle's vocal to me that I feel like need a little bit more control, a little bit more consistency, and a little bit more intentionality. I don't know, and you can let me know in the chat on the Red app what kind of capacity he has to retrack, what kind of control you have over vocals, stuff like that. Let me know. So I was asking what he was using a little bit too. There's some times where like I kind of wish that what he was doing vocally, what he was doing with certain melodies, certain run sequences, and where those happen, that they were a little bit more pointed. They were a little bit more direct with what they were trying to accomplish there. We can do whatever. Beautiful. Love it. So let's dive into a couple details. Again, I'll just kind of lend my ear to it. I've heard the production structure, so I won't address that too much. I really want to focus on vocals because that's the freshest information to me after hearing this a couple different ways. So let's dive into a few things here, but y'all, that is Derek Bennett in the chat. He's over on the Red app right now. If you want to jump around, of course you can, but definitely show some love and support to Derek Bennett. That's the family right there. He produced this whole thing. And excuse me, boosted got you, Nova, got you. I produced this whole thing as well as facilitated these vocals, so I'm very, very excited to get into those details. I think that's Nova right there. Nova, I got you, man. Thank you so much. Let me get you updated real quick. All right, let's run it from the top. Just again, quick reminder, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through it and follow the details there. Even this first vote, this like first vocal, he's kind of going through this like trill off of, the B minor. He's kind of, he's kind of sitting on that trill, and in this case, opening on the E minor kind of triad there, but over the B minor. Kind of sitting right there. Even in that, where like I want that to live in a moment. I want it to live in a moment, but it kind of goes on. And again, stylistic choices here. These are just my opinions. You know that already, but just to anyone. In this little moment right here, I wish there was a little bit more restraint in how long that lasted. Never mind, I didn't make God's menu. What do you mean, Kayla? What do you mean, Kayla? I would love for there to be just a little bit more restraint on that little pocket right there, where to me it moves on just a little bit. It lasts a little bit long in this first part here. So let me, yeah, I would do like a couple of those trills and then delay tail for a while, maybe, right? Like maybe automate up like a filter delay right there, maybe a nice long haul cathedral reverb or something like that. Thought about taking it out completely too. I mean, you could also just try some different ideas because I think you're here. I don't mind sitting in this for a second. You're good, Kayla. You're good. No worries. Yeah, like I don't know if it need. I don't mind there being vocal interludes. I don't know. I don't mind there being some like vocal runs right there. Even just those little pockets right there, especially with a whole bunch of reverb and really really opening it up. I don't mind it existing there. I just don't know if yet we need kind of like the vocal flexes, where you have these, like you have all these other little movements in there that I don't think necessarily in this particular pocket of the song. It doesn't feel very additive to the emotion or to the structure. It's just like a quick little flex, which is fine. It's fine for that to exist. But I feel like I've start hearing this music right here. I start hearing this whole structure. And I just want to like feel, it's like Game of Thrones. Like, I just want to like feel the emotion. I mean, it's a pretty funny contrast with what the song is, but whatever. It has this really like heavy, emotional, very cinematic vibe. And then all of a sudden I'm switching to like R&B runs right there. And so I haven't yet like established the foundation to make this feel like really, really locked in yet. And we're already kind of moving in a different direction. So I would love to either, like you said, you could either take out those early runs, or you do something that's maybe feels like a little bit more ethereal, something that feels some torspiration. That sounds like an injury or something like that. Do you struggle with torspiration? Talk to your doctor about whatever. So you get the idea, right? Of like potentially finding some moments that are a little bit more intentional. This is what I was talking about, like the intentionality. Would you leave the choir if I took out the vocal? So the choir's in the intro here. I like that. Here's your little stair step, right? So I think if you take out his vocal there, if that's the route that you end up going, then I think you could probably leave the choir, and that's your little stair step right there, where you move up one little dynamic, notch, and then you pull it back down for the verse a little bit there. That is kind of the vein that I would look at, just because right now I think there's just like a lot going on. Not even that it's not processed. It's a little bit distracting from the emotion, in my personal opinion. Okay, let me get a little deeper into the song here as well. Is it Bro Clarijo? Thank you for tapping in. I really appreciate you being here. If you want to submit, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. If you want to check the line, it's on the other platforms that we're live on right now. And Lorene, I got you as well. Thank you so much.
What peace we often forfeit.
Actually, let me double check that in a sec.
Pain we bear.
Really quick. Lorene, let me know if you're in the chat. Lorene, let me know if you're in the chat on any of the 3 platforms right now, just so I can double check something right here. I think I have a partial submission from you, so I just want to make sure that I get the whole thing there. That way I can get you up on the board with everyone else. You'll be set. You'll be ready to go. Yeah, we wrote that on his own, so I'm not mad about taking it. Yeah, okay, yeah. I had just the musical intro. Makes sense. Definitely, bro. Yeah, I can listen on Spotify. If anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there, and we'll get you up there. We'll get you in line with everyone else. Is it Lorene? Let me know where you're at. That way I can address a couple quick little things. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, Clarijo. Thank you for that.
Because we do. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything.
So we're kind of pedaling on this B minor here, which I really like. This. It is a cool voice. It's got a little disturbed vibe to it. This like kind of heavy, like hollowed, almost, back of the throat, like really weighty rock vocal that in my mind, I'm like waiting to like scream and go crazy. It's a really cool feel. I mean, it's weighty, it's dramatic. It's got a lot of cool energy to it. 100%. I already used the vocals to add some more epic. Yeah, I feel that. Okay. And I'm also trying to dissect between how forward this vocal is now in these early premixes, right? Versus how obviously this is going to sound in the final project and stuff like that. And then if any of the mods, if you happen to see Lorene in the chat, please let me know. She sent a half submission, so I want to make sure that I get her full if she's wanting to get up on the board. So let me know if Lorene, you're in here, or if any chat sees someone pop up in the chat, then let me know. I am doing absolutely fine, drummer. Thank you for mentioning that, and I hope you're doing fantastic as well. Okay, let's I suck at mixing vocals. No, you're fine. I know this is sent to an engineer, so I'm not expecting this to be like engineered and then engineered again. Only Danielle gets that. Only Danielle's productions get that. They're like just engineered 4 times. Her demos sound like, her voice memos sound like, finished songs to most of us. So that she's the only one who gets a pass on that. But in this case, I'm not expecting, expecting a full mix. But I am trying to dissect between what I like about the vocal take here versus what, it's just the fact that it needs to be processed, right? Batman, thank you. I appreciate you. Can I get that already? Like, can you get that as like scientific fact? I need to send this to a manager so they can, they can raise my payouts. All right, let me back this up a little bit here. Batman, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details. We got you.
We do not carry everything to God in prayer.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I really like this choir. I really, really like this choir. I like what it's doing. I like where it sits. It gives this really massive space and just like fuzz and noise at the top of the mix that I'm really, really enjoying here. Full on the Hill, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're doing amazing. Let me back it up a little bit here. Nice weight with the sub bass coming in. Like even here, right? We get this first introduction to the vocal here. With this huge choir. It sounds crazy. It doesn't sound like that. You get this huge choir that, that sounds amazing. It's big, it's bright, it's open. Obviously, when you get this mix, give it some weight. Maybe don't pull out so much of the low end there. Give it some weight, give it some energy there. Make sure that it's really full and has a lot of body to it. Because I want that choir to like hit me in the chest when it comes in, especially those lower octaves. So as you get this mix, look for some weight right there. And then the vocal comes in with as a bunch of like pentatonic riffs right there. And that to me is like just in that moment, I want to hear like when the choir first comes in the intro, I just want to hear and feel that when his vocal comes in, beautiful. I mean, it's weighty, it's got a lot of presence to it. And then, as the choir really comes in and starts singing something, which again is kind of your hook, right? It starts singing something, and then we hear, we start hearing these vocal runs. To me, my mind kind of gets pulled away for a second instead of hearing that choir, feeling the weight of it, getting a sense of what is kind of being remixed here, like the structure of this song. So I would probably say this is where I feel like just choosing your moments, choosing your like more climactic moments in the song really, really matter so that we don't like give away too much, right? Because already in the intro of the song, in the first hook of the song, we're already getting these huge like multi-octave runs and we're not really saving anything for later on outside of just him jumping a higher octave. And so I would love to save some of that for where until after the first like structure is finished, like his clean verse and then a really clean solid hook. And then second verse to second hook, you can maybe start to play around with some other ad libs and some other vocal runs and stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely want the choir brought out. We don't want the runs. We don't want the runs and there's several different reasons why we don't want the runs. Pause. But you kind of get what I'm saying, right? So I would love to just clarify, maybe like simplify, clarify, let his vocal do what his vocal does, make it weighty in the middle of the mix, get that choir up, make that choir super present, super weighty, not too bright, not too thinned out, give it some oomph, give it some drive. And then of course, B sections, second verses, second hooks and stuff like that. We can play around with a few more runs. But I don't think it needs all of that too early on. I do think it kind of distracts from the initial emotion and kind of cinematic structure that is going on in the background here. By Ray. I love Ray. Akash, thank you so much for one, hopping in the stream. We don't listen to popular artists unless you're connected to them in some way, in the way that you produce or write your music. So if it did happen, let me know. But we don't play popular artists, but shout out to Ray. Ray is amazing. Ray is so fun. She is about to release a song on the 20th that I'm so hyped about. I forget what it's called, but it's with Hans Zimmer, who's, obviously one of my favorite composers and scores. But that's just crazy. Like to even like see that it's like Ray featuring Hans Zimmer is just a wild thing. That's so cool. Anyways, side note, you mentioned, Click Clack Symphony. That's right. I just saw her post about it today. Ray's amazing. She's one of my like favorite like modern like R&B pop artists right now. She's crazy. She's solid. All right. Anyways, I'm not going to listen to her song on here. Side note, but I think she's fabulous. My friend Mike Sabbath produces her music. No way. It's so fun. Yeah, I love her music.
Have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged, take it to
So like even here, instead of, again, nothing wrong with the run. If you want more of those runs in there, you can keep some of the runs in there. I would like almost prefer to start hearing like maybe third note stacked harmonies for his vocal here. Now that this is kind of your B section, now this is your second verse right here, as opposed to da 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 da. I mean, it's got a great presence to it. But now I want to start. Thank you for the roses, Badman Carmen. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the gifts, y'all. I would love to start hearing some harmonies here now, as opposed to just relying on the choir to fill out over the hook, which will sound great once that's all mixed in, as opposed to filling in gaps with runs. Like I would almost just love to hear like maybe a section here. Let me back it up. Okay, got you. So right here. And also those, you're going to want, there's some diving. There's a little bit of tension between some of his notes being pulled down a little bit, maybe by some like loose auto-tuning, not positive, maybe some loose auto-tuning that's actually pulling a few of his notes like a semitone down between, in this case, over the B minor, the D and C sharp. So these two notes right here. So you're kind of hearing, especially on the second verse, a little bit on the first, you're hearing a couple of these notes like dropping where I think he's trying to da 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 da, like trying to be like pretty strict and pedaling right there. Da da da, and you're starting to hear da da da. You're starting to hear a little bit of like that modulation in there, and just some small changes in pitch being pulled by the auto tune. So just make sure when this does get mixed, when this is sent to the engineer, or if it's retracked at all, that those notes are locked in this case to the D, because that's your third, right? So getting this da 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 da, get that really clean and really smooth. Otherwise, that melody is going to feel a little bit out of tune as it kind of wobbles between the C sharp and the D. Let me see.
all because
Here.
have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer.
Like we could have like, yeah, I've got, so yeah, you can, it's just pulling down a little bit. So he's probably on a couple of those notes there, he's probably 45 to 55 cents flat. You know what I mean? Off the, on the D right here, 45, 50 cents flat. So it's pulling down every once in a while. You'll hear it just, once it floats to like 49 cents, you hear it drop down. The auto tune just going to the nearest note and then correcting it. And it's fairly slow. It's not a very fast retune speed, but you still hear it kind of drag it down a little bit. And you hear some of that kind of, misfiring of the auto tune for a second. So I think even just cleaning that up and making sure that that's a little bit, more punchy, a little bit more intentional as far as pitch structure goes, I think would be fantastic. And obviously will help as you get later on into the song when you're, stacking harmonies and building more structure and pushing those forward, that they feel like the right harmonies over the right note being tracked. If that note being tracked is a little misguided, then what's being harmonized could sound a little bit awkward. So just making sure that those two formats are really, really clean. Same thing here. Right now, it's like his ad lib is the main, like his lead is kind of doing the heavy lifting, and it's like way back with the choir, super bright, super thin. I want kind of the opposite. Like in my opinion, I want like heavy choir. You know what I mean? Like I want to feel like we're in heaven. I want like, cinematic heaven. I want a massive choir, tons of weight, strings are punching, drums have reverb that never ends. Like I want all of this energy there, and then supported by and just kind of filled in by those like just filled in with those vocal lines, as opposed to the vocal line being like the main vocal that you're hearing. Those ad libs and those vocal runs, and then the choir's kind of way back there, and the choir's doing like the main structure of the song. Like it's doing like those main like lead lyrics and stuff like that. So I would love for the energy there to switch just even slightly. Let's move forward.
Every weakness, take it to the Lord in prayer.
It's a really interesting structure. I think it's really cool. It's like has tons of potential. Right now, there's some things that I think need to be like kind of molded and like tightened up and positioned a little bit better. But the actual structure of what's here, I think, is really interesting. Like even like some of these lines, right? So you have this, everything's largely outside of your chord change later, where the sub bass changes progression. Most of this is locked on this B minor. It's all hanging out over that B minor. The only thing that I noticed is there's a couple times where you break, right? And then Lord, and he does a little vocal run right there, but all the music stops and cuts for a second, and then he does a vocal run. In those moments, I need that vocal run to hit, right? Like I need it to be really distinct. I need it to be really locked in. If it feels uncertain or inconsistent, or there's a little bit of a break in it, then I feel like it's going to lose a little bit of its edge. So what I would do is, like, with little pockets like this, I would make sure that those are probably comped and like tracked a couple different times in order to get a really solid, really clean take of that vocal run, because it's at a really important part where you're cutting energy and breaking on the whole production to leave space just for a lead vocal run to hit. What's up, Stakes? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing fantastic. You're leaving room for this vocal run to be the front and center thing in the middle of the mix, right? So that vocal run needs to hit. It needs to be like really clean and really solid, because this is the only thing happening in the mix in that pocket. So if there's any uncertainty, any rockiness to the way that he's moving through the scale right there, Kenatu, thank you for the love you. I appreciate you so much. Dude, what's up, Stakes? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing fantastic. Yeah, so anyways, that little pocket right here, that's what I want you to focus on as well, to make sure that when he's doing those takes and he's doing those runs, it feels sharp, it feels punchy.
To the Lord, into the Lord. Take it to the Lord in praise.
He can obviously sing. He can obviously sing. But I think now it's like there's a lot of kind of freestyle structure where he's strictly doing whatever, and I think that's great to do. What I would typically then do, if you're working with a really good vocalist, what I would do at that point is, like, he freestyled a bunch of stuff. I'd be like, ooh, that run right there, the do, that little pocket right there. I think that he has a couple little runs that are kind of in that vein. Do. That he has a couple runs there that I'm like, ooh, that's a good one. Let's lock that run in and do that run on this part of the song, right? And then he freestyles a bunch of other stuff. Some of it fits, some of it doesn't. Some of it's a little bit looser. And then you're like, oh, actually, this is a really good part right here. You do another really good high falsetto run right there. Let's put that right here. You can start to throw out a couple different comps and a couple different loops of him singing some, different runs through this part of the song here, which is kind of the climax of the song. It goes a little bit, a couple different directions after this, but largely speaking, this is one of your highest dynamic moments. And so I would love to compartmentalize a little bit and not let it just be freestyled through, and find some pockets that really work, cut some that don't, and make it a little bit more intentional and a little bit sharper. Thank you for the heartbeat, Stakes. I appreciate you, man.
What a friend we have in Jesus, oh Lord.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All our sins. What a privilege, what a privilege. Everything to God in prayer.
So, like, even right there, he goes, God in prayer, and he pushes to the high note, right? He goes, just an octave up on the B right there. He pushes up, bends into it right there. When he starts that note, he blends that note and runs it from the word before, and he runs out of breath a little bit at the end right here. That's a great moment. Again, same thing we're talking about, right? Like, that's a great moment. I love him pushing the high octave right there. There's a lot that I love about what he's doing. He does have a good voice. And so those are those moments I'm like, okay, track that, comp that, get that really smooth, give him a little bit better breath control, give him a line before, and then he can just go straight into it instead of like running, having a word before, running out of breath at the end. And so you hear his vocal being a little bit shakier, and it's a little strained right at the very end. And I would love for that to feel a little bit more energized and a little bit more like supported by his breath control, so that this last line, which again, one of the highest notes that he hits in the whole song, it's a great transition back into the full production again. I want that to feel, again, intentional, sharp, punchy, because the production is doing that. Like, the production has great break points, has a lot of other really amazing things that are happening. So now I just want to make sure that what's happening on the vocals and the layers, the choir, stuff like that, support, what's happening in the production, and vice versa. Come on. So you can hear, like, he's blending all of that. Oh, God in prayer. He's scooping the whole thing, and he's starting a couple words before and blending straight into it. So by the time he said, by the time he's gotten there, he's 7 words deep in his phrase, and he's running out a little bit of that breath. So that track probably needs to be comped in right there and just take that one line, be able to kind of, build up some energy before it, get great breath control, and then launch that lyric right there. Because you hear him, God in prayer. And it's a great line, but you get a little bit of that strain at the end. Here it's a little shaky at the end there. You're not late. You're right on time. Welcome in. Production sounding really good though. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all, show some love to Derek Bennett. Show some love to Derek Bennett. That's the family right there, man. Love and appreciate what you do. Blue is in the building. What's up, Blue? Welcome into the chat on the Red app. I appreciate you tapping in. Show some love to Derek. We love Derek. He's an amazing producer, amazing songwriter and composer, so definitely tap in with him. He's been working like crazy on the structure of his music, man. Really, really appreciate the time and effort and resource that you put behind what you do. So y'all please show some love to Derek. We're gonna keep the music going. You got a great track here, man. You got a great track here. I'm really excited for what you're gonna do with this. Let me see the notifications here really quick. Let me double check a few things and let's keep the music going. We've got Danielle in the building. Danielle, you have finally made it in. Unfortunately, you are not our last track this time. You are not our last track. You almost were 3 times in a row. That's okay. We still got to kick things off strong today. Let me double check right here. Absolutely, Blue. We just got started. That was our first track. We got 7 more to go, approximately. Let's get into it. Yeah, and if anybody wants to submit, I see some people talking over on the chat over on TikTok. I appreciate you so much. If anybody does want to submit your music for a 20 to 30 minute deep dive long form consultation, where we'll spend 20 to 30 minutes digging into the details of your music, from the mixed production to the songwriting, whatever you need help with, whatever would be of service to you and give you some tools, then that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to talk about. We'll spend a long time doing it. If you're interested in a consultation, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through the details there. If you want to check the line, it's on the other platforms that we're live on right now, which you can also find at my link tree as well. If y'all are over on TikTok, please make sure you're tapping the screen like crazy. Share out the live with the few people you think would value what we do here. And don't forget to send your heart me for the day. It does really help out the stream. Florin, welcome in. Jesus Haste, welcome in as well. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. I sent an email earlier, but didn't actually send anything yet. Okay, perfect. Sounds good, Blue. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll be on the lookout. Let's see. I should have had this late last night, so I think it's here. Okay, we got the Dropbox sending over another song that'll be on my upcoming album, and would love your production feedback so far. Beautiful, my favorite stuff. This is the first love song I've ever written. Let's go. I love it. Levels on this are a bit off, all real instrumentation, and haven't been able to comp the take, so this is a bounce from the day off. Beautiful. We got some scratch tracks. We got some limited production here. I'm excited to dive in. Hecka and Jesus, if y'all would like to submit, if that is the real Jesus, only if it's the real Jesus. If you want to submit, I'm stupid. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. All right, let's run it. This is Danielle. If you haven't heard Danielle before, you're in for a treat. I'm excited to dive in. Let's run it through the first time. This is called It Takes Two, from them right here in the chat. I'm your cutie. Thank you for the follow. Van Berg, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate it.
We got too much fire for kissing in the rain. Blame it on desire.
Already great lyric structure. No, it's a Neumann M147 tube. I almost forgot. M147 tube.
This is right. No, we can't.
Thank you, Jesus. And thank you, Danielle. Appreciate it.
It takes two love. The only way to do love is showing that we'll take the time to stay the night. Oh, it's too good to say goodbye. It takes two love.
I can hear like Olivia Dean on this a little bit.
It's leading in a Too close to say so long, to grown to
Love the dead
walk
drums.
away. So I'll keep bringing
Gotta have a Rhodes in there.
home instead of leaving space. No, we can't fight the feeling this is right. No, we can't stay until night. It takes two love. The only way to do love is showing that we'll take the time to stay the night, 'cause it's too good to say goodbye. It takes two love to really make it true love. It's leaning in to kiss me right after the fight. Oh, I fold and I realize that it takes two. It takes two love. It takes two love. It takes two love. It takes
Nice.
two. Say la vie. It's you and me. We're meant to be forever and ever. Say la vie. It's you and me. Meant to be forever and ever.
Yeah,
It
anytime.
takes two love. The only way to do love is showing that we'll take the time to stay the night, 'cause it's too good to say goodbye. It takes two love to really make it true love. It's leaning in to kiss me right after the fight. Oh, I fold and I realize
That's a vibe.
that it takes two.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Y'all show some love. Show some love to the family. The Browse Band, thank you for tapping in. Nee Manuel, thank you for tapping in as well. I appreciate y'all being here. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details. All the details are there in order for you to submit your music. If you would like to see the line, which I would encourage you to have open throughout the course of the live, then go to the other platforms that we're live on, the red or purple app, also at my link. It's not for popular artists. It is for you or people that you represent. If you're an artist, producer, musician, whatever it may be, that's the structure of the live stream. Jam, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. All right, let's get into it. Eliza, I'm not going to play popular artists unless it's someone that you personally worked with, so we can showcase what you do. So if that is the case, then let me know. But don't spam the chat. That way we can make sure that you follow the proper steps. If you do want to submit, you absolutely can. MSP, welcome in, of course. If you want to submit, everything's at my profile. If you click on the link, you'll see all the details there. The line is on the other platforms we're live on. But yeah, no worries about spamming. Just don't. Yo, MSP with the hold on, MSP with the whale diving. Oh my gosh, dude! Thank you so much. I appreciate that more than you know. Thank you for your love, man. I really appreciate it. That's crazy. Hold on. I actually think that's ironically enough, I think that is enough for a submission. Let me see. Yeah, to MSP, thank you, man. Let me get you a 10 on the board. I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna get you in line. And let me update a few things. I think I just got blue, so give me just a second. Yeah, I think I just got yours blue. So give me just a moment to get this on there. So I got you in line after Alex. And then we're gonna dive back into this track. Jaya, thank you so much, Jaya. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you for your submission. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. Already very catchy, as always. All right, let's get back into it. We're gonna dive into this. Danielle track right here. Let's get it. This is called "It Takes Two." Again, early demos, real instrumentation, not comped yet. This is an early version of this song, so I'm really excited to dive into it. Yeah, MSP, I got you up on the line. If y'all want to check the line, it's up on. Actually, you won't be able to see your name just because it's right below one of the other artists there. But it's on the other platforms that we're live on. So if you go to my profile, click on the link, you can see that the other platforms would be the red or purple app. You can kind of use your imagination, the other platforms that we're live on over there. You can see the line, the order, and the minimums over there on that side. You can kind of see where people are. So if you want to go faster, if you want to move up the line and stuff like that, you definitely can. But all of the details for the live stream, the submission process for these detailed breakdowns are at my profile if you click on the link. But yeah, MSP, I got you up on the board. You can always move if you want to. You can always go faster. That's up to you. But I got you in. I got you in line where you need to be. All right, this is It Takes Two by Danielle, who's right here in the chat. Let's run it from the top.
We got too much vibe.
Actually, I want to hear. Okay, there's some little things in here, so I'm going to have fun with the production side here, because that to me is what's really interesting about this. And then how that sits over your vocal structure here. One of the things I was listening for is what musical hook do we have in the structure as well. Hey, welcome from Kazakhstan. I appreciate you tapping in. I appreciate you being here. I'm listening for like lead production structure, like what kind of like musical hooks you have as well that make the song distinct and make it interesting, as well as obviously what you're doing vocally in your melodies and stuff there. So let me, I'm hearing there's one little melody I really like. I think it's D sharp, right? Or it might be B flat starting on, yeah, I think it's B flat starting on the D sharp. So let me back this up here. Yeah.
We got too much.
Yeah, starting on the D sharp in B flat. Okay, so there's a little melody in here that I'm kind of, I don't know why this. This little melody in the background here. Love. It like barely sits in the background right here. I really, really like it. I'm gonna back it up. So I'm kind of curious with what I would love to hear. What I would love to hear is a really like soft piano, a really soft, and again, making this up as we kind of go, right? I would love to hear like a soft piano and like a hollow body, like electric guitar, like a Gretsch, Duesenberg Star Player, 335 Gibson. Like I would love to hear like a really nice, like hollow, little, exactly, an underline right there that just follows this. Let me hear that. I want to hear it one more time, because it's already kind of there. Yeah, it's actually off the F. That's what I was looking for. So this. This is kind of right under the, and then maybe repeat. Just like a really simple line. If that's what that little kind of hollow guitar in the middle, maybe even matched like high octave. I'm going to bump up here. Just even it's too high. We'll go. And it's matched with the guitar. And that's like your intro, and then verse structure hits. You let off the gas there right now. Those melodies leave, and then maybe that kind of a structure of an octave with the piano and the guitar becomes again a musical identity through the song as well. In addition to these beautiful like strings and harps and synths and stuff that are in the background, they're beautifully, beautifully done. MSP, thank you for the hand heart. I appreciate you a lot. So that's kind of what I'm listening for. It's like I love the aesthetic of the production, and I obviously love most of the structure of what I'm hearing in the vocals. I'm going to dive. I'll listen a little bit more keenly for that as well here. But on the production side, like I love the aesthetic, and so my brain is kind of looking for a little bit more of that like pattern recognition, a little bit more of like an identity to the song itself underneath what you're doing vocally, which is always going to have a great hook to it.
We got too much fire for kissing in the rain. Blame it on desire to always stay the same.
Jaya, did you want another track, Jaya? Let me know.
Fight the feeling this is right. No,
I'm gonna back it up.
we got too much fire for kissing in the rain.
What an opening line. You wrote that, Danielle? What an opening line. We've got too much fire for, I mean, come on, hold on.
We got too much fire for kissing in the rain.
That is such a good. I hate how good that line. That's such a good line. I haven't heard that line before, and I love. What's up, John Paul? Welcome in. It has been a minute. I hope you're doing amazing. I haven't heard that line before, and I love when I hear a line. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that put that way before, and I love that. I love that so much. It's so good. Okay, let me know. Blue, let me know. So good. That's a great line. Take notes, people. That's a great line. If let me know if you want to. If you want to split those into a back-to-back, that would drop you in the list. Totally up to you. Or like you mentioned earlier, hold on, I got to do my puzzles. I got to do my puzzles here. TikTok's got me playing games to stay live. Beautiful. And we're back. Beautiful. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you want to. I'll update everyone. I was like, hey guys, last night was pretty great. Shout out to shout out to y'all. Anyways, side note. Focus. We're back. The Torrent the time. What is Timeline saying? What is Timeline saying? Adabong, welcome in. Jew Prince, welcome in as well. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Blue, let me know if you want to keep your 30 spot and have another one in the 10. Obviously, that'd be a bit farther down. Or yeah, let me know. Let me know. Let me know what you want. That way I can just make sure I just want to make sure I put your name in the right spot. Because I have that one and then I have the other one. So save the 10. Or do you just want to guarantee that top and put that at the top? Either way is fine for me. It does, yeah, I have no preference. It's already stuck in my head. Such a good line. You absolutely can, Green. You can send your banger. Another banger. You can. If anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details, check the line on the other platforms we're live on, which you can also find on my link. All right, I'm gonna start this verse over. Yeah, let me know, Blue, if you want me to just save that 10. Save the 10? Got you. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me just save this real quick. Boom. Got you. All right, you're saved. I appreciate you. Okay, so you still got your top spot and then you got your 10 saved. All right, let's run it.
We got too much fire for kissing in the rain. Blame it on desire to always stay the same. We can't fight the feeling this is right. No, we can't stay in denial. It takes
Like, what if you, okay, so maybe even on a pre, so let's, and again, I'm just, wheels are spinning, right? So almost like curious if in this little pocket, you have a bit of a pre, you amplify a little bit, bass slides in, beautiful, love it. You have some other slides and portamentos on the outside, gorgeous. All that's fantastic. Even in its, unmixed structure right now, I love what it's doing and where it's doing it. So what I'm kind of looking for is maybe that would be a good point in order to reintroduce those melodies. So it doesn't happen too often, so it's not too gimmicky, right? But that would be like a really nice place to have that little, just right there. In fact, what if let me switch this. I'm going to drench this. Subscribe to his Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Too much noise, too filtered. Yeah, into the chorus, exactly. Okay, hold on. Go to Only Tours. People are going to be going there, be like, wait, what is Only Tours? And they're going to find something crazy. They're going to find something crazy. Like, go to Only Tour. It's going to be something wild. Okay, so pre, right here on your lead in.
to always stay the same.
On the 7, a little 7.
Fight the feeling this is right. No, we can't stay in denial.
Oh, it's parody. Okay, hold on. Let me back it up a little bit here. I'm gonna break it down. I like it. I think an octave would still be nice though. So hold on, I gotta go an rectify. I'm running out of keyboard here. I don't have enough keys. I only have 61. I need 88 again. I need 88 again. Soon. I'll get my 88 back. So we can go. There's the octave. Clarify. I like it. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. So first verse, and this would just be like your lead in on your kind of pre or your B section to your verse, maybe. Actually, let me see how would I do it in the first part, because it might come in later. Hold on. So it'd actually be after the chord.
We got too much fire for kissing in the rain.
So it'd be after the chord hits, but you can do it in any different way.
So to always stay the same. We can't fight the feeling this is right. No, we can't stay in the
if you kept it the same, it would be late like that.
Always stay the same.
So it'd be here.
We can't fight the feeling.
I like that too.
This is right. No, we can't stay in denial.
That's not bad. I can't decide if I like it leading in or coming after like that. So that is the same way that melody already happens in your original production at the intro. So that's the same way where it starts, here and here. Opens up and then back to the D sharp. Makes it, it gives it some ambiance. Or throwing another one out there, you could you could introduce it before as a transition. Also like that idea. There's no right or wrong answer, but I think something like this gives you a little bit more of a tag. So if we do that kind of underline as a transition into your pre-chorus or B section to your first verse, then you still get a little bit of that texture. So it'd be here.
Always stay the same.
I like that a lot too. To the D. Oops, it would be again.
Blame it on desire to always stay the same.
That's a nice little transition. Little syncopation.
This is right. No, we can't stay in denial.
Both work. They both sound really cool. I think either one works really well. I think it just kind of depends on what makes sense in the structure, what feels like it really fits what you're trying to get out of it. If one feels more distracting than another one, or, so on and so on. But I hear this first melody here and I just love it. It's barely there. It really is barely. You just hear it for a second, but dun, 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 and I love it. Okay, let's get into the hook. But I think it would be nice to have that. It also gives you an interlude melody. It gives you another thing to repeat in your second section, maybe something for the outro. It gives you like another fresh melody that you can add in that gives you another element in the song that gives it an identity, which I think is really fun.
In denial, it takes two love. The only way to do love.
Oh, I love it.
Showing that we'll take the time to stay the night. Always too good to say goodbye. It takes two love.
Oh, these strings. Those are real strings. Oh, and I love them.
Too good to say
This is nothing like it. There's just nothing like it.
goodbye. It takes two love to really make it true love. It's leading in a kiss, but right after the fight. Oh, I fold and I realize that it takes two. It takes.
Oh, so here, beautiful. You have another area. So if we do it like the original melody, so first melody, yeah. So if you do it like the first melody and the intro, and it's the same way that you perform that melody in the B section of the verse, then you can do that in the interludes here too. So right here,
It takes two. It takes two love. It takes two. Too close to.
and then close. It's just like a little teaser. You just toss it in there.
walk away.
Yeah.
So I'll keep bringing.
Ooh, no, do it with the Rhodes too. You might. Okay. Oh, because there's Rhodes. You could do it with the Rhodes. That might even mean this is honestly this. Okay, I gotta do this just because this is my way my brain works. It's like if I don't get the thing out of my brain, then I always the Rhodes. That's always the answer. It's quite literally always the answer. What am I looking for? I am looking for a stage 73. Here's my stage 73. Oh, she's pretty. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, talk to your doctor about stage 73. Side effects may include. Come on. Let me. What's up, Bridget? Welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're doing fantastic today. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna draw it back a little bit. No problem at all. No worries at all. There's never any pressure. I look forward to the time that hopefully I get a chance to listen to it. Always love what you do. You got an amazing voice. That's what I want. I want a little bit more intensity here. It's 10 on. Let me see. It's 10 on, 35 top right now. 10 on, 35 top. So then there's a lot of spread in between. We got a bunch of 10s, a bunch of 20s, and 25. There's a bunch in between that. But yeah, 10 on 20, 10 on 35 top right now. 35 currently is next. But also I think the one who's at the top has other to save as well. So, kind of depends. Okay. So, if you want to see the list, it's constantly up on the other platform. So if you go, it's pretty full. So it just kind of depends on how once you go. I think I have like maybe 18 people on right now. 16, maybe 16, 18 people. Let me see. Yeah, it's probably like maybe 15 people, 15, 18 people. But yeah, it just depends on how fast you want to go. What's up, Joe? Good to see you. Yeah. So yeah, it just kind of depends on how fast you want to go. Like 15 skips like half of those people. Anyways, so yeah, take your time. I'm excited to hear it whenever I get a chance to. But yeah, that's if you ever want to see the line, see the order, anything like that, it's always up. We're on 3 platforms, so it's always up on the other platforms as well. So if you go to the red app or purple app, the other ones, the line is always up there, so you can always kind of see the order and stuff like that, just in case. Okay, let me get back into this. So yeah, in this transition, I think I'm going to bring back the Rhodes instead of the piano. The nice thing about the Rhodes, like especially like a stage 73, and you're dealing with a real one. This is very warm. That's too much reverb, so I'm actually going to pull this back because I actually want to hear it a little bit more. Wave to Earth, thank you for tapping in today. If you would like to submit your music, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. We can get you up on the board. Let me dial this back a little. Again, this is the way my brain works. I got to get it. Slow down that tremolo a little bit. And I'm going to bring this low end back. It's nice. Okay, so now we have this on our interlude. I'm just curious to know what the red and purple apps are, but why do you call them that? Because TikTok, their TOS is very sensitive. So TikTok, as amazing as a platform as it is, they really don't like when you send people anywhere else. So because of those TOS, anytime that I mention even just emails and mention other platforms and mention other stuff, they oftentimes will just like crush. And you'll see it happen sometimes. Even honestly, even when I say red app and purple app, probably because I'm saying app, you'll see that go from like 35 people yesterday down to 8, as opposed to, most of yesterday we had like anywhere from like 20 to 35 people. And then later on, you'll see some things taper. Some of it's just the algorithm, but some of it is just constantly having to tell people to go to something to see something, to do that. And they're careful about it. So we speak in code to honor the TikTok gods and make sure that we are in good standing with them. But it's still kind of annoying. But because the red app and the purple app doesn't care. The red app and the purple app, they are totally fine with you kind of doing whatever. But retrack sent 10 for Bridget. Bridget, are you still in here? Bridget, tell me you're still in here. Tell me I just saw it. Tell me Bridget is still in here. If not, retrack, send it to her if you can. Find her in the chat, follow her and send it to her, something like that. Let her know. You sent in, hold on. So we might get you up on, hold on. I got excited. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Go to my profile, click on the link, and then all of the details are right there. You'll see the email right there as well. Let me see. Hold on. It hasn't come through yet. So let me just double check. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate it. So, okay, here we go. Got you. Yeah, Bridget, you scroll down at the top of that same place. At the top of, there's an email you can find in the first couple steps right there. You'll be able to see it. That's why the red app is the better app. I know, but since we're live on all of them, the restrictions apply to everybody. I still have to say red and purple. Shout out to, for one, pause for a second. We'll get into this roads. Shout out to Retrack. Retrack sent in an extra 10. Retrack sent in an extra 10 to give you a boost, Bridget. So please show some love to Retrack. That's amazing, man. That's incredibly generous of you. So let me get you up. So you now have 25 up on the board, Bridget. Amazing. It's so incredibly generous. Also, thank you for your own submission, your own input right there. I appreciate that so much. Like you said, things are a little bit tight. I don't take that for granted. I appreciate you trusting me, trusting this community with your music. That means so much to me. So let me get Bridget up here. Shout out to Bridget. Bridget's amazing. It's probably been a year and a half since I've heard your music too. But I got you on the board with 25. I appreciate that so much, both of you. Thank you. Let me get that where it needs to be. Perfect. Okay. It's time. We're focused. All right, let me go back to the track. So now I'm kind of in the world of, this is a little drier, a little... Why does this feel so thin? What's getting filtered out? What's getting filtered out here? What's up? Lucio, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. How are you feeling today? I appreciate you hopping in. There's a little more weight. I like that. I like it. I'll take it. And down. Okay, let's get into this transition here really quick.
Say goodbye. It takes true love to really make it true love.
Most of the production structure I hear right here, it's gorgeous, right? It needs to go through its process, needs positioning and balancing, whatever. I'm not even worried about it. That's all going to happen. Not going to touch it. For me, it's like these little extra peripheral little elements that we can dive into.
It's leading in a kiss right after the fight. Oh, I fold, then I realize.
Here's 2, 3, 4.
It takes true love. It takes too close to say so long, to grown to walk away.
Maybe it's an octave lower.
Oh,
Let me see.
It takes true love. It takes.
Well, maybe higher, maybe an octave higher. You can play around with it, but I do think the Rhodes fills that gap in a way that works really well. So we can go back to first verse here, right?
We can fight the fear.
And it brings in that instrument as a thread.
No, we can stay in denial. It takes true love. The only way to do love.
Beautiful. Okay, let's get into the second verse. Yeah, Nova, Danielle's amazing. Yep, I love it because you're off the D sharps. You can. What's your email? It's not letting you back into the link. Why are people having random issues with the links lately? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if it's TikTok's issue or something like that. TikTok doesn't like me saying it too much, but it's track talk submission at the G. Use your imagination there. I can't say too much. It is track talk submission at the G. Yeah, it's the code I have to speak, and otherwise they're like, hey, how would you like 2 people in here? Kampatai, welcome in. Good to see you, Kampatai. Cadence, thank you for tapping in as well. If anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there. Line is on the other platforms. All right, let's get into the second verse.
It takes to love. It
Love that phaser too.
takes two.
Thank you for the heart, me.
Too close to say so long. To ground to walk.
Yeah, because now the Rhodes is kind of doing it. You know, kind of. It's kind of doing, it's a little bit more staccato, right? It's kind of living off this little vibe here. It's, you know, it's giving it a little bit more openness right there. But I also do like the idea of just. Oh, not that. Just kind of hanging on the sevenths a little bit. Like that to me also offers a lot of warmth that I think is really valuable as well. I want to see, the links are just weird. I don't know why. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Let me look at something here real quick. Why is this doing this? Yeah, I'm gonna take off that. One sec. You know the way I am. I'm always doing too much. There's a little bit more of that weight. I'm going to dry it up just a little bit. So as kind of your interlude kicks in, so you can go with a little bit more of your melodic texture right there, right? So we're going to go back to like your original underline as a transition, still the same way you did your intro, and the B section of your verse, your interlude into verse 2, and then of course you can still add that back in as another section on your B section of your second verse if it goes there as well. So here, starting on the F. Just your transition, and out here, there's a little bit more padded. So I'll keep bringing you home instead of leaving. You can still keep a little bit of those sevenths. You can still keep that, you know. I can still live there, but I really do like bringing in. And then going into B section, if there is a B section here, you can still have yeah, me too, exactly. It gives it a little bit more contrast between A and B section with those melodies, because you can still bring in that lead melody again on that B section, because you already have the chorus playing under. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I love this. And then you can get back into the dun, 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 dun. You can bring in all of that energy back into the equation once again, right? So if you're starting here, a little too much phaser, but I do like it. And this is like A section. And then B section, you can still go. And then you have one more. Beautiful, right? Even just that little bit of texture, I think is like really, really, really interesting, while still feeling incredibly like warm and dynamic. So here, too close to say so long, to grown to walk. You can still do the syncopation. There's a little lift. So I like those melodies. Those are fine. But it might be too much with everything. And then here, there it is. It gets a little muddy right there, so you'll just have to play around. Everything kind of filters, the drums filter out, the strings swell in. So you'll have to kind of dig into the details of how you want that to transition while still maintaining that melody, if you want to kind of keep it in the mix. Or do you want to let it, maybe just do it the first time, let everything filter after that, and then transition into your next hook? That's kind of up to taste, right? That's up to a couple different ways that you can go about transitioning there. It might get a little bit muddy if you hang on to all these movements. It could get a little bit muddy if you're going to filter there. So just something to keep in mind. Liv, if you want to submit, or anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details. Yeah, it does make it really full. I like it. Legend has a tour can speak all languages but reads none of them. That's what we more for sure wrong on one of the. I wish I could. I want to learn so many languages, but I feel like I don't have the time or energy to do it. I really, really want to. How you just add a chord and make it sound like a thank you, Retrek. I appreciate you. Miranda, thank you for the heart me, and thank you for the perfume. The three of them, I appreciate it. I like the pads better because the contrast there, 100%. It's on the red app or purple app, the other platforms that we're live on right now. Sorry, saw a producer use a rose the other day. I think freaking magical. I would love. Quite literally have no room for one in here, but I would make room. I would make room for it. I would make room for a Rhodes in here. I wish I could get a Rhodes in here. And are you writing music or making? Oh, hold on. Sorry, my chat won't fold out. I thought I saw some other questions, but it won't. It keeps pulling me down every time someone comments. Okay. Anyways, I'll keep it moving. It's not letting me scroll down every time someone new comments. It pops it back to the top. So either way, hopefully I answered all the questions. All right.
It takes two love, the only way to do love.
Thank you for the heart me and the follow.
Will take the time to stay the night, 'cause it's too good to say goodbye.
Thank you for the follow.
It takes two love.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
To really make it true love. It's leaning in the kiss right.
I love all of the production structure here. It's beautifully structured. It's beautifully done.
It takes two. It takes two love. It
Love this.
takes two love. It takes two love. It takes two. Say la vie. It's you and me.
Go back here.
It's leaning in the kiss right. The fight. Oh, I fold and I realize that it takes two. It takes two.
On this part or chorus? The it takes that part. Second half of bridge. I got you. It changes progression, right? So let me see.
It takes two. Say la vie.
I think it's a 1/3, right? So yeah, 1/3 first.
It takes
I know it changes progression, so I think 1/3 maybe to the 4.
two.
Yeah.
It takes two. Say la vie. It's you and me.
So just walk up. I do like the 1/3 is really nice. Okay.
It takes two love. It takes two love. It takes two. Say la vie. It's you and me. We're meant to be forever and ever.
It holds. Yeah, it just kind of expands on the F right there.
It takes two. Say la vie. It's you and me. We're meant to be forever and ever. Say la vie. It's you and me. Meant to be.
It does add a little bit of glue in the back, even just, the. The pad is only over the response in the bar. Yeah, okay, so the.
It takes two. Say la vie. It's you and me. Man, it takes two. Say la vie. It's you.
So it's already a change of chord there. Let me see. Hold on. I
It
got you.
takes two. Say la vie. It's you and me. We're meant to be forever and ever. Say la vie.
And then maybe straight here, the little call and response right there. When you go into the B section again, probably smooth out because then the choir kind of comes in all the way through.
Ever, endeavor, say love it's you and me, bent up forever and ever. It takes two love, the only way
Thank you
to
for the follow, Joe.
love, showing that we'll take.
Yeah, I like the push and pull there a little bit too, and then kind of smooth out when everything comes back in. Let me hear this last transition right here.
It takes two love, the only way to do love.
I would love. There's a little bit of a very slight dive in energy. I forgot to tag you in an IG story of the song. Actually, it was just a small snippet though. Oh, really, Blue? I don't know if I saw it. I don't know if I saw. I'm sorry. There's a little bit of a dive in energy right at the end, right here before it breaks. I would love for that dynamic, and I know again not mixed and all that, but I would love for the dynamic to feel a little bit sharper before that happens right there. You hear things kind of roll down, the bass kind of rolls out.
It takes two love, the only way to do love.
I mean, a key change could be really interesting. I do think like, right now the song is very pointed, and I do think there's always a balance. I think we're kind of the same in this too, but like there's always a balance between like what would be really interesting and cool and creative for cool and creative people, and then also what's like the most palatable for like most people to just experience this song. And I think there's probably a way to keep this the same. Because of course, creatively, I like the idea of a key change. You definitely could walk up here, but I also feel like it feels really grounded right now, and I don't want to take that away. So you can always try. You can always kind of go both directions. But either way, I think it would be nice to. So you can hear how the drums cut, right? It's small detail, like the drums cut. It goes da 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 boom. And so the drums cut completely, and then there's just one, double snare hit rolling back in to that breakdown right there. It probably would be better to have a cut to do cut to do 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 do. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more of a roll moving into that moment right there, so it doesn't feel like the energy kind of softens a little bit and then cuts completely, and then we're back in. But it actually like builds up a little bit, cuts, and then we're back in, and that transition feels a little bit more dramatic.
It takes two love, the only way to do.
Then you're back in it, right? Like it's a tiny little small detail on the way that the strings roll in, the way that the drums transition can make obviously a big difference in how those dynamics feel right there. But otherwise, like again, most of this hook structure, I really, really like the production.
Showing that we'll take the time to stay the night, 'cause it's too good to say goodbye. It takes two.
And then if you feel like it, I don't want it to get too busy or noisy, but it's also a great hook and it's already really well established. If you want, sometimes I like this where like you have all of these individual little pockets of the song that do something really interesting. And then since the hook is established and it doesn't crave clarity because you've already done it and people know it and it's a little bit more catchy, on the last section, you kind of bring everything like back in. It could be cool for on your, you have a double chorus here on your second chorus to bring back that interlude melody again, just as like a taste. It could be quiet. It could be way back there. I just like the little teasers. I like those little, those little loops kind of in the background that make things like they're always calling back to each other. I just think it helps things stick.
The only way to do love.
Like leave all this the
Showing that
same.
we'll take the time to stay the night, 'cause it's too good to say
And then here.
goodbye. It takes two to really make it true love. It's leaning in to kiss the right after the fight. Oh, I fold and I realize that it takes two.
And who? Okay. I'm also thinking too. What's up, dude? Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. I'm also thinking of the outro here too. I same thing as a lot of this where I'm like, okay, I like the please don't spam the chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tapping in. Okay, I'll double check in a second, Bridget. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll be closing this one up right here. The only other thing that I'm thinking of is the outro. This is such a like smooth, beautiful, like nostalgic. What's up, Katie? Welcome back. Like smooth, nostalgic structure here in sound, just in the sound design. I love so much about it. The ending here for me. Yeah, don't spam the chat. If you spam the chat, you will get muted. And I would hate for that to happen. I want you to be able to collaborate and be able to talk with people and send in your music. So just don't spam the chat. You can submit it my profile if you want to. Yeah, that's I've already said it a couple times. Okay, the outro to me is like a little bit abrupt, although I like it and although it works and although I don't. Yeah, hand go. It works and it doesn't sound bad at all. In my mind, I almost just want to hear like maybe this. Let me see. This. Like what if instead of going so hardcore and instead of it just being
Then I realize that it takes
and you two instead of ending right there, what if you actually went all the way back? Let me hold on. I think it takes two. Right?
that it takes two.
It takes two. So like what if it literally was don't realize it takes two. Back to that melody. I like that. Two, yeah, exactly. 2 measures of that all the way through. You're back to the right there. One more time. And it's that same melody you hear at the very, very intro right here. And you have your, it takes two. You still have your vocal loop in the background. I think that's nice. That to me is a softer, it's such a beautiful song. It's a pretty song. It takes, yeah, because it goes right back into the vocal loop in the background right here. Yeah. There's so many little twists and turns here. And this is such a beautiful, it's a pretty song. Like it's a really pretty song. So I think to be so abrupt to me catches me off guard a little bit. And I think you could soften the blow a little bit by going back to the intro with the vocal loops in the background, like those vocal stacks. It takes two in the background with, again, reintroducing that melody that's kind of a thread through the song right there. That to me feels a little bit more bookended. It feels like a little bit more of a cohesive structure, and I think it softens the blow. Although it sounds fine if you did that at the end right there. 10 more seconds won't hurt you. As far as streaming goes, 8 more seconds isn't going to hurt you, but it softens the blow a little bit and bookends the song with like a really nice, like filtered sample that I think does really well. Y'all show some love. I'm ranting. Y'all show some love. That's the family right there. Danielle, love and appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much for that submission. I'm glad we were able to get to it earlier today as opposed to last track every single time. So grateful for you coming in here and just being so, vulnerable with your craft and your talents and your input as well. I appreciate it more than you know. So everybody please follow Danielle. Amazing artist. Go stream her music. Go tap in with anything that she's doing. Show some love and support. That's the family right there. Let me update a few things really quick, because I know Bridget's got places to be, people to see. So Bridget, I got you. Bridget, you're up next. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up your song straight away here, because I know you got to leave. Shout out to Bridget. Shout out to Danielle one more time. And then, of course, shout out to Retrek as well for that extra push. Let me get this updated real quick. And then, let me see. And you did say you, Manifesta's in the building. What's that, Manifesta? Welcome in. How you feeling today, man? Okay, is it? I mean, that melody's stuck. The melody's stuck. Is it? It's not Baby Chairs, is it? Let me know if it's out. If it's a different name that's in here in the email really quick. Jaya, I got yours in. It's called Tension. No, that's something else. Double check I'm not seeing it in spam either. Double check the email really quick. I'm not seeing it. I have all my updated emails here, so give it a second. Double check it really quick. I'll give you the exact, just because again they're tricky. Track Talk Submission, no S at the end there. Track Talk Submission at GM. At the normal email. Track Talk Submission. Make sure it's exactly that really quick. Just double check. Make sure it's exactly that. And then I'll make sure we get you in, because I know you gotta move fairly quick. Let me see. Give me one sec. I can put it here. No, you're good. And then send it to Use Your Imagination. Eris is in the building. Use Your Imagination for the actual email, but that first part is what I want you to send it to. And then at the popular email, just so I don't, I'm not saying too much. Welcome over, Eris. Welcome over, Oris. Welcome over. Let me see. Yeah, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. We'll get you up on the board, ready to go. We're doing good, Eris. It's been a great, productive day. Working on projects, working here in the studio, getting some things changed in here. I've got this, you can't see it, but I've got this 46 or 45U rack. It's like a 7 foot tall or 6 foot tall rack right here next to me. I'm working on figuring out how I'm going to be filling out with some rack synths. Most of it's going to be rack synths, maybe a few processors, but mainly rack mounted synths, adding a couple more in here. So working through that, trying to figure out what I need to order and what I need to get out of here. I'm selling a couple other synths to get some stuff in the rack, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to have, 6 feet of synths in here outside of the rack I already have behind me, which is going to be fun. We may or may not have finished Higher today. Crazy. It's such a good song. It's such a good song. Daniel's so right though. There's every song, every road, all roads lead to roads. Should be on a shirt. True. Switch to piano. Is it a wave, Bridget? It might just be taking a second. I'm gonna give it a moment. Where do I sit on the list? Planning on a grocery line. I would encourage y'all to check the list because it changes a little bit as people come in and submit and as people leave. And as people get heard, the line is changing all the time. Okay, it should come in. It should come in pretty quickly. So I would just double check the line over on the other platforms because sometimes I'll typically like, oh, you're 3 songs away, and then 4 more people submit in 30 seconds or something like that, and then they're confused as to why they weren't number 3, and because it's always kind of changing. So I would just double check those other platforms really quick. Okay, let me see. Sent through both of my emails. Okay, let's give it a second. Because it's not in my current list right here. But I'll wait it out. I got you. Either way, we're gonna let's do it. Yeah, just and I could tell you. So like right now, you're probably maybe 7th or so. Currently speaking, I think you're like 7th or so on the list. Because I think you're actually below. So I can move. Okay, down here. The machine. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, Blue. 100%. I'm going to move Bridget up. So actually, I can clear a couple. So I can clear a couple here. Because Bridget's going to be next no matter what. So that should be current now. Yeah, I try to keep it updated. Yeah, that should be current now. Okay, let me give it another minute, and then just while we're waiting until I say that it's come in, if you just want to double check the email that it's sending to, not the one you're sending from, but the one that you're sending to. Just make sure that it like matches exactly, that there's no typo or anything like that. Just in case. Okay, sometimes it'll be like, oh yeah, there was an extra S or I don't know, something. Just in case. Rashawn, if you want to submit, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details. And then just if you want to check the line, which I would encourage y'all to do, just double check over on the other platforms that we're live on, which is the red app and purple app, which you can also find at my link tree as well. Those are code for the other platforms. But don't spam the chat, just in case. Don't spam the chat. Make sure that you follow those steps to submit, and we can get you up on the board. Yeah, I'll definitely be live tomorrow, Blue, 100%. And then Blue, let me know. Oh, no, you should be good. Sorry, I was going to say, because we're about to listen to this one and then you have your song. So I was going to say I could add that 10, but you're already going to be next currently speaking unless someone else sends in. Just kind of depends. Da, 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 do, do, do. I'm not spamming your English weird. Wait, what do you mean? Aponko, what are you talking about? What you talking about? I didn't think you were spamming. Yeah. You got time. We don't do ratings. What we do here at Track Talk are long form consultations. Bridget, it just came in. I just got it. You're set. You're ready to go. These are 20 to 30 minute consultations, really detailed breakdowns. Literally just came in, just showed up. These are 20 to 30 minute consultations. We go through your track usually 2 or 3 different times in order to get into the mix, production, get into sound design, lyric structure, stuff like that. No problem at all. I'll do my best to make sure that people are understanding as much as I can, of course. Bula, welcome in. I appreciate you tapping. I've been to Fiji twice. Fiji's amazing. Fiji is amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. Probably one of the favorite places that I've ever been able to visit before. Fiji was absolutely amazing. It's been probably about 20, maybe 18 years since I've been. It's been a while. But Emilio, I appreciate you tapping in. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's get into this one right here. But I don't think our mixing is. Yeah, that's what we're here for, man. That's what we're here for. If you want to submit, just go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details. You can check the line on the other platforms that we're live on, which is the Red and Purple app, which you can find over at my link as well. Okay, let's get into Bridget's track here. Bridget produced. I think the last time I heard you, thank you for the follow. The last time I heard you were doing BeatStars leases and stuff like that, I think at that time, or YouTube MP3s. And this was produced and engineered by Bridget. Bridget, let me know kind of where you're at with this track as far as like how far along you are. Is this like at least like mixed to you and that's kind of what you're looking for? Is this like a final step? Emilio, thank you for the follow. Or are you going to be diving into this a couple more times? It's done, about to be released. Is it already in distribution? Let me know. That kind of gives me some context on the editability that you have, kind of the adjustments you can make here. But let's get this downloaded. This is Tension. Perfect. Okay, that gives you a chance to put, if potentially we need to polish a few things. All right, this is Tension by Bridget right here in the chat. Let's get it. Thank you so much for your submission, Bridget. I'm excited.
Hola bebé, ¿vos por qué andas tan perdida? Hace tiempo no te veo.
Came in, wearing your
What are you producing on?
driven,
Sounds good, Blue.
lost
Sounds
in the
good.
way you move, teasing, pulling me across the room. When I'm feeling the tension, wanna be all over you. Don't say a word, let your body tell me to. With the lights down, the only thing I see is you. If you feel it too, tell me what we're gonna do. I know you feel the track. Back in the same room, still can't get over that night. See you
Smooth.
again, got all this tension amplified. You feel it too, baby. I'm about to take it back to my room, baby. When I'm feeling the tension, wanna be all over you. Don't say a word, let your body tell me to. With the lights down, the only thing I see is you. If you feel it too, tell me what we're gonna do.
Smooth.
I know you feel the track. Hace tiempo no te veo. Esa carita de full desespero.
Nice beat switch.
Por vos yo me muero. Dame un beso tell me what we're gonna do. I know you feel the tension.
Dime pues, si le hice falta. I thought you knew how much I missed you. Rompamos la tensión.
Yeah, absolutely killer voice. Great structure. Y'all show some love. Love the beat switch. Love the changes in energy and dynamics here. Really, really, really well done. Honestly, I just want to talk about vocal production because that to me is going to be the thing that kind of fills out the energy and the vibrancy of the track itself. So there's a couple small little things. Love your voice. Love the structure. Love the energy of the track itself. Let's dive in. This is Tension by Bridget, who's right here in the chat. She produced it. She engineered it. Amazing, 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 amazing. So fantastic job, especially because I haven't really heard much, if any, of your production. So this is really nicely done. Really, really nicely done. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into a couple quick things, and then you're ready to ship this off. This is great. Let's dive in. And shout out to the family too. Shout out to Bridget. Bridget has been around for, man, I think I first heard Bridget's music maybe honestly like 2.5 years ago. For sure back when I was in Dallas. Back when we were in Dallas before I had this studio space. Back in San Antonio. So it's been a long time since I've heard Bridget's music. Amazing. It was amazing back then. You've obviously grown in your craft, grown in your ability to produce, at least since the time I've heard you. So proud of the work that you put in. Just, man, keep doing what you're doing. Let's run it from the top. Let's dig into a couple details here. OG, 100%. I have a question to her. What's your favorite type of music? I don't know. I listen to a lot of different styles of music. I tend to enjoy a lot of like 80s sound design. So I like Depeche Mode, Tears for Fears. I like the Midnight, Kavinsky, Time Cop 1983, stuff like that. I like a lot of synths, 80s sound design. So anything that's got a lot of synths in any genre, I'll probably enjoy it. All right, let's run it from the top. Let's get into a couple details here. And then Jaya, as of right now, I do have you up next. What's up, darling? Welcome in.
Hola, bebé.
Tears for Fears is
¿Por qué andas tan perdida?
legendary.
Hace tiempo.
Yeah, I like it all. So whatever style of music you make, I will enjoy it. Like I'm working with clients personally right now. They're all different styles, all different genres. I was working on a country record a couple weeks back for an artist in Nashville. And so we were hopping on doing some co-producing and collaborative writing with a country artist. I'm also working with a contemporary opera artist. I was doing a progressive metal track a couple months ago for a different client of mine. Like, it's all over the place. So I really do enjoy working with and collaborating with a lot of, I literally did a couple of oh yeah, absolutely. I did an EDM record with a couple of artists a few months ago. I'm also planning on doing like a big like EDM / house record with another collaborator, another really talented producer here in the very near future. So yeah, all the way across the board. There's no like bias where I'm like not gonna like it because of some genre. I can appreciate anything, any different style, any different genre, 100%, and work in all of those different genres as well. Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Can I be in a line or something? Yeah, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all of the details there. If you are looking for the line, we're live on 2 other platforms. So you can find the line to order the minimum on those other platforms as well. That's your girlfriend in the beginning. Let's go. Okay. Xavier so based clears your entire career. Probably. I have no clue who that is, but probably. There's many people that clear my career. It's fun to be able to work full time in music, but it's also, there's a bunch of people that, do a lot of stuff in music. So I would not be shocked. I love that you're able to integrate that, Bridget. That's awesome.
Hola, bebé. ¿Vos por qué andas tan perdida? Hace tiempo no te veo.
Came in, wearing your best perfume, driven. I'm lost in the way you move.
Great melody.
Pulling me across the room. When I'm feeling the touch, I wanna be all over you. Don't say a word, let your body tell me to. With the lights down, the only thing I
It's a really, really good structure. So like one of the things that I really enjoy about this is you have your verse structure, the pattern recognition, the repetition right here.
feeling the touch, I wanna be all over you.
Listen to the repetition.
Don't say a word, let your body tell me to.
It's this. The only change is your ending lines, right? and you lift a little bit, and then you have like a different run at the end of like your third time, right? But you have very consistent, really distinct lyric structure and melodies that are so catchy, right? That repetition is what's going to make that an earworm. It's what's going to make it sticky and gluey and catchy. So props to you for just the structure that you've baked in here. It's so catchy. It's so consistent. The way that you've built that in is just, it's chef's kiss. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
all over you.
Very consistent.
Don't say a word, let your body tell me to.
Slight end lift.
The only thing I see is you. If you feel it too, tell me what we're gonna do.
Like the way that you do that allows for me, who's heard the song, the first time I heard the song was 90 seconds ago. It allows for me, brand new to the song, brand new to the structure, to feel like I know half of it already, right? Like I feel like I'm like, I feel like I've already got the melody down, and I haven't even really heard the song and really dove into the lyrics yet, right? Like I haven't even like really just streamed it as a consumer. It's so quick. It's so quick. Just because there's great pattern recognition and there's absolutely amazing structure. Thank you for the follow.
In the same room, still can't.
Okay, quick. Let's really quickly dive into the vocal production and vocal process right here, vocal processing right here. On your this is a really nice mix on the production as well. It's wide, it's punchy, it's got a lot of the things that you want out of this genre and out of this style. On the vocal side, there's kind of two or three small things that are happening that I would dive into just loosely. The first one is a little bit of an over exaggerated or over kind of hyped top end, right? So 10K, let's imagine it's up 6 dB with a high shelf on your EQ. Maybe soften that down to maybe 3 dB just in case, or just to mitigate having some of that harshness and brittleness at the top of the vocal. Again, I love a bright vocal. I love an airy vocal, but you don't want it to be brittle. You don't want it to be harsh at all. So that high shelf that you have, just soften it lightly to just re-warm up that vocal so it doesn't feel too slicey, right? It doesn't feel like it's jumping out of the mix too much with anything that feels, overly abrasive. A little bit of a soften, a little bit of a softening right there will help a little bit. In tandem to that, you are still getting a little bit of harsher sibilance in the middle of the mix, which I know we've talked about before, but just really fine tune the threshold of your de-esser as well. And then you probably need, I would assume, maybe another 3 or 4 dB lower on your threshold of your de-esser in order to catch some of that, some of those more brittle and abrasive frequencies they're slicing through. So you might need to fine tune a little bit just to really find the frequency that is resonating in a way that doesn't feel too beneficial, feels a little bit harsh, and then pull back just a little bit, right? So if you're at 5,500 hertz, master always messes me. So what do you mean the master is messing with that? So that tells me you're probably doing like brightening again over on the master. I would do this only on your vocal track, only on your vocal track. So if you are kind of like reintroducing brightness in the master again, what's up, Bearded Baron? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. If you're doing a little bit more brightening on the master, then you could probably soften that just a little bit as well. Any of the de-essing, do it on your vocal. Do it on the vocal itself. Don't do anything on the master. That way you can address it at the source. You can address it a little bit earlier on. Then it makes it harsher. So then whatever you're doing on the master, that is, for one, what do you, I mean, you can tell me too, like, what do you have on the master? What do you have on the master? If you're doing if you find yourself doing a lot of like fairly exaggerated movements on the master, then try to address those on the source first. Because if what's happening is your master is like kind of band-aid undoing some of the things that you were trying to do. Okay, no worries. No, don't even worry about it. I guess from a, yeah, for sure. Basically, make sure that you're not using your master as like blanket band-aid sweeps that are affecting everything, right? So if your track feels dull before it hits the master, so you're brightening it a ton, and you're doing a lot of like really big shelves to make your master really bright and really punchy, you probably just need to like open up the high end on your drum bus, right? Or on your drums in order to open it up just a little bit more, right? You might need on the vocal, you might need to like soften some of those highs, de-ess a little bit with slightly lower threshold, so the vocal is a little bit more even, a little bit less harsh, so that the movements you make on the master aren't as extreme, right? If you find yourself making fairly extreme movements on the master, then that's probably a band-aid to something that's giving you some pain points and some issues earlier on in your chain and earlier on in your mix. So once again, try to like, if you want brighter, punchier drums, do that on the drums. If you want a little bit of a brighter, more airy vocal, just do it on the vocal, as opposed to trying to fix it with the master, because anything that you do on the master will affect every single track, right? So probably what's happening is you're like, ooh, the drums sound really like crispy and good when I crank the high end right here. Everything sounds, everything, it forces through a little bit more. Those drums sound nice and snappy, and you're like, ooh, that sounds good, right? You kind of adjust to that and it sounds really good. But then what's happening is like the hi-hat's getting brightened, the acoustic guitar, lower strings are getting brightened, that shaker sample's getting brightened, your vocals getting brightened, those airy vocals in the background are getting, like, it's a blanket, right? It's covering everything. And so it's same thing with the low end. You're like, ooh, as soon as I crank the bass, as soon as I like boost the bass with like a Pultec or whatever, right? As soon as I boost the bass on the master, the whole, the bass sounded amazing. It sounded all like really, really heavy and really open. I bounce out all the vocals and all of the beat in 2 different tracks. Do you think I should bounce out more tracks? I do all of mine straight off the session when I'm like mastering my own stuff. I just do it straight off the session. I don't really necessarily bounce it. If you want to, in 2 different tracks, so you can just master off the 2 track if you want to. So like you can technically just like bounce it to a 2 track and master from there, but that's only gonna work if your mix is perfect. You know what I mean? Like if your mix is already exactly where you want it to be, and it's already perfectly balanced, and the bass is where you want it, its brightness is where you want it, the vocal sits exactly how you like it, then you could bounce that to a 2 track and make some small adjustments. But if there's some issues in the mix and you bounce those files out, because the session gets too big, you can do that. But really, really all you have to do is change so when you're mastering, you don't have to worry about latency. So I think you said you're in Logic, right? I might be making that up, but I think you said Logic. If you're having issues with how big the session is, then just raise your buffer size, raise your capacity to handle processing, right? So if your buffer size is low, that helps with your latency. So when you're tracking, you can hear yourself really, really clean, but you're limiting your processing power, right? And how much power your DAW is able to pull from in order to process your session, right? So you're going to get chops and glitches and this noise and things that aren't working really well for you. But as your session grows, for one, you can print some stuff. So if your drums sound how you want them, or like the bass isn't going to change at all, then you can just like print it. You can just lock it in, and then you don't have the plugins anymore, right? Like I can just take that track and then it's printed as a waveform. Waveforms are nothing, right? That waveform is going to be like a megabyte and a half versus a 3 gig session, right? So if there's like, okay, these background vocals, this guitar, this whatever, I know the effects are where I want them. Maybe I just want to add an EQ later to change some things. You can just print it. Or you just commit it right to the track. That'll help a lot with your processing power, as well as go to your hardware buffer size, your HW buffer size, and raise it. When you raise it, it's going to cause latency, but you're not tracking anymore, so it's fine. It's going to be a couple milliseconds more latent, but it's going to open up the full power or more of the power of your computer to help facilitate the actual processing within the session. Not to get too techie about it, but raise your buffer size. It'll allow you to use that session without it being as glitchy and poppy and stuff like that. That will help. And then really on your master, all you really need is maybe like 3 plugins if you want to, just like maybe a light EQ, maybe a compressor on there, and a limiter to make it as loud as you want it to. But that's really all you should need. So the master shouldn't be the thing that's killing your session, right? The master shouldn't be the thing that is like making the session big. If that's the case, that you can address that in probably some other areas, I would say, right? So anyways, I think I would just do it within the session. I think you should have enough space for that, as long as you are just strategic with your settings and what you commit. Just do it within the session so you have full control. And then I would mute everything on your master, make sure the mix sounds good. Make the mix perfect. Like when my goal when I finish the mix, and again, I'm working in this, but my goal when I finish the mix is that it's like done. Like that I could send out the mix before it's mastered at all, and it's already like fire. You know what I mean? It already sounds amazing. It already sounds exactly how I want it. I'm not making like any stylistic changes or anything like that. I'm not making any stylistic changes to the track when it comes over to the master. Like I tell people all the time, how much do you charge for a mix and master? Shoot me a DM. A full mix and master is going to be a bit more expensive. Just master is a little bit cheaper. It doesn't take nearly as long as mixing does. But yeah, shoot me a DM and we can talk the project. We can kind of see, what you're looking to do. Full mix and master from scratch is going to be a little bit different, but we'll make it, it'll sound perfect. It'll sound great. Yeah, true. Bad mix could make for a terrible mastering process. 100% Nova, 100%. Like what I always say, is track like you're never going to mix, right? Track like you're never going to mix. Choose sounds like you're never going to mix as if you're never going to master. If you do that, if you kind of keep that in the back of your, mind, you'll just make a lot better choices instead of just throwing a kick on there and then being like, I'll EQ this to shit to make it what it is, or choosing any 808 because, I'm sure I can make it work and I'll just chorus it and filter it and sidechain it to a different kick or whatever. If you just start choosing the exact thing, tracking your vocals exactly how you want them to sound, controlling proximity, angles, all that fun stuff, right? And then you get into the DAW and you mix as if it's not going to master. So by the time you're done with your mix, you put such attention to detail and such intentionality behind the way you go about your process that there's like, you don't even need a master, right? Throw a limiter on there and get it loud for Spotify and you're done, right? Like you get really, really well structured with your mastering process. Amy B, thank you for the follow. And you won't even have to, I'm sorry, with your mixing process. You're good. Okay, let me skip forward a little bit here. So those things will help as at a start, right? I'll move forward a little bit. That vocal structure is really important. Handling in the mix is really, really important. Don't use the master as a band-aid. Do it in the session. Change your settings. Boom. All that. I think that alone will help with structure. Let me skip forward a little bit. I know you got to go quick. No, you're good. Thankfully, we've still spent like 25 minutes and we're still locked in. And then, of course, if you want to DM me about some of the other stuff, feel free to. And I can try to hone in on some other things or talk about what aspects of it I could take off your plate so you just don't have to worry about it anymore. Of course. Like melody structure is great. Like that's what I love about this. Like the song is good. The structure is fantastic. The production is really engaging. The switches are awesome. Like the parts that matter the most are here. It's just fine tuning so that when people hear it, it's not abrasive, right? That they get here's my test. Wait, hold on. This behavior is not in line with our policies. Gifting is suspended for 10 minutes on this live reason. Limited interaction. Learn more in rules. What are we talking about? Sorry. Of course, there's something. I'm sorry. I've got pop-ups here. They're blocking my screen and they're suspending something. Give me just one moment. Annoying. Okay, that's very strange. Anyways. Yeah. Okay. I think I just appealed it. Whatever. That's annoying. They're just kind of being weird. The things that matter are there, right? So here's my like final test that I talk to people about is how loud can your consumers, right? The audience of your music, how loud can they turn up your song before it hurts, right? And if some of the details that we're talking about right now are there, then it's going, it's annoying. I appreciate y'all hanging out. No worries. I'm not too worried about it. It's inconvenient and annoying, but it's fine. How loud can people turn up your music before it hurts, right? That's like the test, right? So if you find that whether the vocal structure, something in the beat, something happening in the master is making something harsh, that's going to limit the environments where people can turn up your music. When they're working out, they'll have to turn it down a little bit. In the car, it'll come on and they want to crank it as much as everything else on their playlist, and then they have to turn it down a little bit. Like you just don't want those elements to be in play, right? You want people to hear your song, love it so much they turn it up, and they can turn up as loud as they have the capacity to handle it, right? So that right there is kind of what I want you to listen for. It's like, how loud can I even listen to my own song in different environments without it hurting? And if something is standing in the way, whether it's harshness in the drums, sibilance in the vocal, it's a, imbalance between the more subharmonics, low frequencies, it's too boomy. If there's anything standing in the way of people turning up your music at a venue and they're on their soundbar in their car and their headphones when they're working out, then that is a limitation to people enjoying your music, which is going to be a limitation to the exposure of your music. So that's like the final little test that I would throw out to anybody who's like struggling with something. It's like, if there's anything standing in the way of people enjoying my music at whatever volume they want to, quiet or loud, then that's a limitation, and you want to remove those distractions. That's what the mix process is to me. Like it's the mixing process is just removing those distractions and removing the hindrances to people enjoying your music in any platform. That's what I want you to dig into. Message me for some of those other stuff, some of those other things, Bridget. I love the song structure. I love your voice. It's so good. It's so smooth. It's such an easy listen. It's such an easy listen. I absolutely love the way that you approach your songwriting and your melodies. They're addicting. They're catchy. You've got that on lock. This is the final little detail. And you're doing this all yourself. You're doing this all on your own. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of patience. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep chipping away at the process. And if I can help with some peripheral stuff, of course, let me know. We can talk about that a little bit as well. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for sending in, Bridget. You're amazing. It's so good to just hear your music again. I appreciate you so much. Y'all, please go follow Bridget. Click a button until it sounds good. No idea what I'm doing. Hey, that's half of it. That's half of what it is. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody that that's the secret to good audio engineering. Show some love to Bridget. Show some love. Show some love. Okay, really quick. Let me update a few things. Let me just make sure that we're good to go here. Let me see real quick. Let me see. Okay, let me see, Alex. I haven't seen it. Let me just double check. Sometimes it doesn't refresh for me, so give me one moment. Okay, so that was Bridget and got you, Alex. Alex, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate that. All love from this end, Bridget. All love from this end. I hope you're doing fantastic. Yeah, let me know if there's any other way that I can help you out, whether in the process itself or just some peripheral things you're having issues with. All right, Alex, let me get you pushed, and then I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for that. And then Jaya, I got you as well. So give me just one moment. Alex, you're moving way up. Jaya, I got you as well. So I'm going to clear yours, Jaya. So you're where you need to be. I got you. Boom. Boom, boom. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, Jaya, you're clear. You're clear. You're clear. Let me update this. Let me get it off my list over here. All right. Let's run it. Let's run it. Rex, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. If y'all are over on TikTok, make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me. It really does help. Actually, you might not be able to because TikTok suspended something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Shout out to TikTok. TikTok, we love you, but also you complicate things a lot for no reason. Mr. Don, what's up, Mr. Don? They're just like, they said they suspended gifts, which means no heart me, but they tell you to do the heart me to help with exposure for the live. So whatever, TikTok, either way. Side note, we got some music here. We got Jaya in the building. Right now, we got 6 more minutes until they're back. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the update. I appreciate it. And I'm not worried about that part, but I know the heart me's help. And so it helps y'all get more exposure too. They cost a penny. When it does, let's make it count. Miranda, you're the best. I appreciate it. All right, we got Jaya in the building. I just finished this today. This is the final product for the second part of my first song, "Believe in Lord," which I think you've heard before. Might have been one of the earlier ones I heard from you. I'm so very proud of how it came out, and I mixed and mastered it all by myself. This will be coming out very soon. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this is, I don't know. I got a random suspension. I have no idea why. It just TikTok notified me. Said I was suspended. Yeah, they're so weird. I love you. I feel like if I say anything bad about TikTok, they're like, and your algorithm's dead. Say goodbye to the For You page. But I love you, TikTok. Thank you for being such a phenomenal platform that makes it easy for people to express themselves creatively. All right, we got Believe in Love or Believe in Lord. It really is, Nova. It really is. That's what I've done. That's what I've done my entire life in music. It's very freeing. Daniel, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Believe in Love. Okay, got you. Just want to make sure. All right, this is Believe in Love by Jaya Lewis. Y'all show some love and support. Let's get into it. I'm excited. And let me clear that. We got 4 tracks left tonight, y'all. 4 tracks left tonight, as far as I'm aware. As long as I can keep things rolling here. All right, got it downloaded. Boom. Let's go.
I loved you. You're the one who didn't love me back. So now I'm gone.
Let me see. Let me update it. You're good.
But it's to save me.
Right now, Matchu would close. Hey, what's up, 5 Minute? I got you. I need to send you your email, 5 Minute. I got you. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think Matchu's last right now, if they're here. I'm gonna drop this into Pro Tools. Locked in.
I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna cry, I don't wanna have to beg you
Unless you just want to go last retrack, you can forfeit that spot if you want to. That's up to you.
He weighs me down to hang around, so I will have to leave.
5 minutes. I got a chance to watch both of those videos all the way through now. I got a chance to watch all of the, I think that you sent those 2 videos, right? I was able to watch them both all the way through now, so I can finish out that email for you. Love the roads. What's up, Newton? Welcome in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Y'all show some love. Wait, do you work during the daytime? That's weird. Are you asking me, like, what I do for work? Let me know, or if it's because people send song names and sometimes I get confused. I work in music full time. So I work as an audio engineer, producer, and session musician full time. That is, I don't have another full time job. I work in just a bunch of different realms in music. So I do some consultations, I do audio engineering, production, and then session work. So tracking, synths, drums, guitar, stuff like that. Yeah, beautiful music structure tonight. Let's get into it. Y'all show some love to Jaya. I'm so proud of you too, Jaya. So proud of you. What happens when you find a radio-ready song on here? We find a lot of people that are incredibly talented that come through. We've had people that have won Grammys, producers and musicians that have won Grammys that have come through here and sent in their music. The structure of this live stream is as a 30-minute consultation. So this, God, these allergies are beating me up, y'all. And also when I've been on live for like 2.5 hours, I start like losing my voice. We structure these live as consultations. So these are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultations. We spend that 20 to 30 minutes diving into the details of mix, production, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting, stuff like that. So no matter who comes in, that's the same format that we honor, right? So, for someone who's never done music before or they're very early in their production journey and stuff like that, we will spend a lot of time giving them tips and tools in order to really showcase those things and give them tools and tips to improve and polish the structure of their music. If there's someone who's incredibly prolific at their craft, they're an incredible musician, they've been engineering for 30 years, or they worked on a really cool record and they're showcasing what they do, then I still try to do the same thing where we really still dive into the details of what they're doing so that everybody can learn from that process as well. So when someone comes in with a phenomenal record, great song structure, great musicianship, the way that they're building out their formatting of how they introduce stuff for their dynamics, I want to showcase exactly how it's happening in the song, why they're doing it that way, so that people who are still learning, the people that maybe don't have as much experience, can start to train their ear for how to listen for those things in their own music as well. So people come in with radio ready records all the time. People come in with stuff that is already out, it's released, they've got label deals, they've got stuff like that. That happens, maybe not as often. A lot of people come here to get the polish and to learn more tools and stuff like that, but people come in polished all the time. And if they do, my goal is just to showcase what they're doing, why it's happening that way, and how other people can kind of emulate what they're doing and improve on their structure to reach what is more industry standard, or like you said, radio ready and stuff like that. So yeah, people come in all the time that are phenomenal, and then people come out all the time that are very, very fresh, very, very green in their ability to produce and write and stuff like that. And I want to make sure that there's space for all of those people, which is why this live stream tends to be so analytical. It's very long form. It's like 30 minutes per song, sometimes longer. So yeah, that's kind of the structure of what we do. All right, let's dive in. That was a quick feeling submission, maybe because I'm at work. I mean, it did feel fairly fast. It is only, let me see, where did the track go? Recently added. Hold on. It is pretty quick. AS Car Workshop, welcome in. Yeah, 2.5 minutes, about 2:34. It is a fairly quick song as well. Y'all show some love one more time. Let's dive back into it. Y'all show some love to the family, J.A. Lewis. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch over here. We're going to switch to DAW mode. We are switching to DAW mode. Welcome to the DAW over here. So let's, hold on. I got to move this. There we go. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. This all messed up for me the other day, so I'm having to like redo it. Sorry for that. And we're back. Beautiful. Okay, now we can kind of see what's going on here. So I'm going to do a couple things here really quick. Jay, everything I did on the song was very intentional, but I still wanted to know your thoughts just because I value your input. The song will be available on all platforms very soon. Let's go, Jay. I love to hear it. Yeah, so there's a couple things that I want to look at. I'm going to throw an analyzer on here. We're going to look at some of your stereo imaging because this to me is more objective than subjective, right? When the song itself, maybe because of cancellation, maybe because of phase issues, or some things that just slip by, where the song has a panning bias to one side, or Midnight Fury, thank you for the rose. I hope you're doing fabulous, man. Thank you for tapping in today. It's good to see you. Hearthaven, welcome in as well. Those are some of the things that I'm looking at, right? So I want to always, as you very well know, Jay, because you've been here many, many times, you know how we work. There's so many aspects of this where I just want to honor your creativity. Brandon, thank you for the paper crane. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you for the gifts. The gifts are back. I guess the gifts are back. I don't know what TikTok was up to today, but they had blocked it for a while, but I'm very grateful for y'all. Thank you for that. There's some things that I want to just make sure that we honor your creativity, that we respect the way that you're structuring things, and that you are staying as authentic and true to your creativity as possible. That is always going to be the case, of course. The flip side to that is some of the more objective mixing details that are going to limit people's ability to pilot that and actually take it in, right? So those are some of the things that I want to look at, because as much as I want everything to be as like creative and spontaneous and as interesting as possible based on the energy you want to bring, I also want as many people as possible to hear your message, hear your voice, and hear what you've produced, right? And there's going to be limitations to that if we don't take care of maybe some of the more objective quality details in here, right? All right, so let's, again, here I have my vector scope. If you can see this, yeah, you can. You can see this on TikTok and you can see this on the other platforms as well. Thank y'all so much for the gifts. I appreciate y'all a lot. What this is going to do is it's going to show your panning structure, right? So immediately here, so right here, right down the middle, you're in the hot seat, Blue. You're in the hot seat. We can see your song. I can literally see your song. Right here, this little pocket right here, and Blue Jaya is over on the Red app as well, so you can't see some of the things that I'm interacting with her with on some of this. But right here down the middle, this is your stereo image. This is a polar sample. This is your vector scope, where you're able to see amplitude and positioning of your signals here in the chat. Hey, thanks for tapping in. So right here, what you're going to see is right down the middle. This is centered. Obviously, you have left all the way to the left. You have right all the way to the left. And then you have kind of the loudness of those different elements, right? So as I play your track, here's what I heard, and here's why I wanted to do this. As soon as I started playing your track, I heard everything going about 25% this way. So the whole track felt like it wasn't just like vibrant and energetic and open and wide. The whole entire track felt like it was panned 25% this way. So what I expect to see when I press play here is you're going to see this polar sample, and you're going to see it right here, right? You're going to see it pan to the right like this, as opposed to right down the middle, which would be mono, or stuff everywhere, which would be in stereo, right? Where you're getting the full stereo image. So right, as soon as I press play here, you'll see it most likely pan to the right. Boom, there it is. See the signal? Well, I'm backwards on this end. It's backwards on my camera. It's all over here like this, right? And there's some really cool aspects to the production. But the whole track is panned to the right. So you need to double check your master, double check the instruments within that. This sounds based on everything being panned to the right. The whole thing's panned to I'm backwards on my screen. So y'all, it's this way. Based on everything being panned to the right, there's probably something happening on the master track where, for whatever reason, the panning was notched to the right side. You had a stereo profile, right? Like maybe you had two knobs for your stereo profile. You lifted the left one a little bit, so it biased this way for 20% this way. So you can see the full image is right here, right? Versus. And what we can do some stuff as well, and I can walk you through maybe a couple things. But versus, let me go. I'm going to bring this up. So let me copy this up here. I'm going to drop it on my piano so you can kind of hear exactly what I'm talking about here. I'm going to drop it on my piano. So now, yep, it should be completely in stereo, right? So it's got to be, if it's happening on your master, it should be right down the middle, right? You want it to be like fully in stereo. If there's two channels that each have their own panning, one should be all the way to the left, one should be all the way to the right. So we saw what it looked like when it was like this. Right now, if I play this piano, where did it go? Here it is. Look at that information. See that? That's a stereo image. So you're seeing this amplitude, right? One note looks crazy. That's completely different, right? That's the information versus we come down here, click on yours, boom, locked in this way, this way. So what we want to do is rebalance that and open it back up. I'm gonna do a bad version of this just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, right? So this is not what you should do, but I'm going to kind of give you an example of what it will loosely sound like if you're able to get it back to the middle. So you can see right here, this is in Pro Tools, right? Here's your stereo controls right here, right in the middle. I'll move it to the middle right here so you can see a little bit better. Here's your stereo controls. My assumption is like you have like one that's like this or something like that, right? It's a little bit off center. You have it to the left. Right now, since you're panned to the right a bit, I'm actually going to like dial this back. I'm going to recenter it and then do a manual re-stereo optimization. This is not what you should do, but I'll show you kind of what should be happening, right? So your original signal here, that's all the way to the left. So I can rebalance this now. Immediately sounds so different. The original signal obviously is still going to be pushed to the right, so that's what it's sensing, right? But now we have this balance and I can respread it. So I'm going to take your middle channel. We're going to push that middle channel just a little bit. So I'm doing some loose stuff. Never do this on your master, but this is just kind of what I'm talking about in this case to kind of showcase where you could rebalance it. Doc Rats, thank you for the follow. And the difference in the way that it sounds. And I'll A and B it for you so you can kind of hear what we're talking about. I'm going to do a 2-band stereo spread here. Again, just to rebalance it so you can kind of see what we're talking about. The sub is going to be below 200 hertz. On that sub, we're going to push it about 5% above that. We're going to push it a little bit wider. So the difference is, even between that image there, if I bypass this, and I push this back here, versus that, that's the difference. You can see where it sits again. Those are some of the things that to you are going to be vital to you feeling this song. The other thing that, and this is not the last thing, but I'll push a little bit farther into it. I'm going to turn this back on. Bring this back to nothing for a sec. So another thing that you're seeing here, again, and this is one of the last little details here that I would focus on outside of like what you've already done with the song, right? Because the song it's already doing what you wanted to do. So I'm going to leave that kind of where it's at. Right now, another thing that you're kind of seeing happen is not only is it just happening to the left, like again, I can go back here, I can go to my piano, I can turn this on. Not only is it everywhere, but you see all of that information. Exactly. There's information, stereo information hitting you from all sides, right? That right there is also really important because right now, how could you tell without dropping it in? The way that it biases in the headphones, right? So as opposed to like a mono image in the stereo field, which is right down the middle, or a full stereo image, which is coming from both sides, right? You have two signals. Beyond stereo, it sounded like it was kind of mono, and then it was slightly louder on the right side. So it was like slightly louder over here by like 20%, 25%, versus being centered or open. And so based on me already hearing that, I could already tell I need to drop this in and look at the image so she can see that it's biased one direction, which of course ends up being true. So that's the bias that we're hearing is it sounds like it's coming out of one side more than it is the other, which is true in this case. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Beyond it being panned to the right, which we already saw, right? We already saw if we look down here, I pull this back up, there's the information right there. Beyond that, you see how narrow the band actually is, right? So beyond it just being pushed that way, it's also really tight like this, as opposed to pushed that way, but it's like still fuzzy and open, right? That tells me that everything is fairly mono. So the other thing that I want you to do is get everything back to center, right? Get everything back to like left and right, fully panned in stereo. And then in addition to that, make sure that you have stuff positioned in different places so that the mix feels wide, it feels open, it feels dynamic. Because right now, everything, even if you got it back to center, it would just kind of be coming right here. But get those vocal layers and those harmonies panned out to the side, get some on the left 50%, right 50%, open up your panning structure a little bit more as well, so that you feel like the vibrancy of this mix again, as opposed to it feeling really like on the nose and direct and right here. Because right now, even if you open it back up again, it's still just going to be kind of small sounding right down the middle. And I want it to feel broad. I want that Rhodes to feel like it's coming from the left and the right. I want those harmonies to be panned outside as well, so you feel the width and the openness of this mix as well. That to me is really important to really feeling the energy of the song. Okay, let me get back over here. Main view. Let me delete this track out of here really quick. That to me is vital, because otherwise the mix will just feel small. It'll feel like kind of, too on the nose. It'll feel too pointed, as opposed to feeling really energetic and vibrant and wide. So those are the things I would look for. I take ozone off of here so we're not butchering our latency. And let's get back to the original track here.
Begging you to stay and love me the right way. It weighs me down to hang around.
And that will probably also help with some of the distortion that you're getting as well. That as you stack all of these layers and they're all coming from like the exact same direction, they're all kind of hitting right here in front of each other. As you start to, and they're all competing for the same space. As you start to like pan these to the outside, turn some of those layers down, like rebalance the bass again, that will open up the mix a lot more too. Because right now you are getting some distortion. Some of that just happens where you put everything right in front of each other. They're all filling the same void, and you're going to get some frequency buildup that way. Positioning will help you open up this mix a lot too. So that's, I think, the biggest thing I want you to focus on. You have some cool melodies. There's some eerie, vocal texture in there I think is really interesting. And still some things that could take some polish, but you've grown like crazy. So I still want you to just stair step. Like I still want you to like take the song, improve on the next one, improve on the next one. There's some things that could be polished, but I'm so proud of the amount of effort and time that you have put into building these song structures. You should be so proud. This is vastly different than some of the earliest stuff that I heard from you with your vocals. So now we just got to work on panning, positioning, at least as a start. Then we can chip away at some other stuff next time too.
So I will have to leave.
Little distortion there. So some of those little textures, that's what I want to listen for. Oh, yeah. Would love, like as you work on your next track too, would love a little bit more confidence in some of those melodies, at least from your lead vocal. Some of your layers, they bend in a really interesting way, but some of those lead melodies, see what randomly happens with the algorithm. It's so strange. Some of those lead melodies, I would love to be even more confident and forward and feeling like really on the nose. Again, one of the ideas that we always talk about is, what do I get to sing with you? Like as the consumer, right? As a listener, as an audience member, right? What melody do I get to sing? If that's too hard to find, or it's not as in the forefront, so it makes it challenging for me to like understand it, then it can be really difficult for people to connect, right? Like they listen to it, they connect to it, and they want to do it themselves. They want to sing the song themselves. Those are those little details, like keeping the audience in mind of how they're going to like perceive what you're doing, and seeing if there's any way that we can offer them a little bit more clarity, right? So again, like you said, a lot of these stylistic choices are exactly what you wanted to do. And then there's more of the like objective part of it, which is like the panning. It's pan to the right, that people aren't going to want to listen to that in comparison to everything else they're hearing. So restructuring the panning and stuff like that is going to be really important. Those are more objective quality things, right? Same with like some of those melodies where I'm like, I love so many of these like eerie sounding layers, these really beautiful, like easy sounding like production structures. I think those are fantastic. Now it's like, how can we clarify a little bit? How can we be even more distinct and forward with those melodies, confident with those melodies, so that people can really relate, they can connect to the amazing, beautiful things that you are doing in the song structure. Those are those last little details I want you to think about.
It breaks my heart to leave you there, but it's the same.
Space between windows, so that it's not like they're right down the middle. They're all still coming from the same play, so just, I guess, double check, because something's happening maybe on the master that just maybe needs to be readdressed. So double check your panning, because whatever is happening, because again, without being able to like see every detail and be in the session and have control, it's like whatever is happening, the mix has kind of collapsed back to here and moved this way. So whether that's doubling issues or panning issues, whether there's something happening on the master where it's pivoted to the right in the panning, that's something's happening that is like collapsing it and then moving it to the right. So that's like the one thing I really want you to focus on, because this might be as simple as you like go, like maybe you have two master knobs and they're right here on the right side. You might just need to drop this one and drop this one to the other side, and boom, you're done. Like it sounds open, it sounds easy, it sounds great, but definitely double check that, because that does determine how people listen to it. They'll be in their car and it's going to be like a little bit louder on the right side randomly. They'll be listening in their headphones. It'll sound like the battery's dying on one side because it's panned over here. You know, like there's going to be more uncertainty in listening to it because of that bias. And so that's what I want you to address, because to me, that makes a big difference in how people feel the song and how they perceive it, even if the song is fantastic, right? Even if all the things that you put in the production are fantastic, if the final output has an issue, then people are going to perceive it how it's output. In this case, collapse to mono and then pan to the right. So double check some of those settings. Once you double check that, I think you'll be in a good spot.
No good for me.
And then soften that resolve at the end. For me. And then let that fade naturally. Don't cut the track too short. Let it fade naturally. Give it one more second after it fades naturally, then cut the file and send it out. That way that's nice and smooth. You don't get like a pop and it cuts really fast. Let your vocal resolve naturally. Let the chord ring out on the roads. Give it a second and then stop the track right there. Y'all show some love to Jaya Lewis. Jaya, love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for sending this in. Such a dramatic improvement from some of the earlier stuff that I've heard from you as well. You are very, very talented. You're a good writer. You're a really, really good writer. So that to me, I think is your strong suit. You also have some really good production instincts. I think now it's just really digging into like the language and the formatting and the settings of your mixes, right? And your master, of course, and positioning of stuff like that. But what you have put into these songs, I think have a really, really solid foundation. Now we can start to just build on that foundation to polish some of the vocal structure, polish some of the even like mixing details like panning and positioning, making sure that not only do you think you're doing it, but you can like hear exactly what's happening or not happening in the mix, so you can address it yourself as well. I think that's a superpower to have once you learn some of those tools as well. But please show some love. We love you, Jaya. You're amazing. Show some love to Jaya Lewis, y'all. Let's keep it going. I got Alex in the building. Alex, I see you in the chat already. Let me double check this really quick. I think we got about 3 or 4 more songs. I'll kind of see who's here. It's already getting a little bit later for me, so I'm probably going to close up here in just a little bit. I might close it out with you. I might close it out with you, Recheck. We'll see. I don't have a whole lot of time and I'm getting hungry. I've been on for a while already. I've been going long. I've been working a lot, but I'm still trying to go, decently long. Okay, we got Alex in the building. Let me see. I think this is yours right here. Newest song we're working on. Let's go. Of course. Anytime, Jay. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for what you do. Keelix, welcome in as well. I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep tapping the screen. It's probably just engagement. I think one of the reasons why they said no gifts was because there was no engagement. So just make sure y'all tap the screen every once in a while, just in case. It does make a big difference on the algorithm, even if it's like every couple seconds, just send a little tap. All right, this is the one known as Alex. Alex, give me all of the details. Talk to me about the song structure, the role that you played in this song, so on and so on. Give me some details and let's dive into it. Got you, Nova. Perfect. Good riff. Alex, are you the vocalist, or at least one of them? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, nice. Wait, hold on. Am I getting suspended? What is going on? What is going on with TikTok right now? Appeal not approved. You cannot. Is not restored. Yeah, I mean, obviously something weird is going on with TikTok right now because there's 4 people versus 35 that was here yesterday. What is going on? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I guess it just suspended all of that, and it won't be restored. I don't know. We might. I mean, we can do a quick little reset. Sometimes that clears it. Maybe after this song. Maybe after this song for the last 2 or something like that. But maybe not. We'll see. I'm getting these like random suspensions. I'm not even doing anything. And the suspensions don't even make sense with like what's going on. Very interesting. Okay, well, anyways, I'll figure it out. Sorry, I keep getting pop-ups covering my screen for TikTok, saying that it's suspending stuff, and I'm not positive why because I'm not even doing anything. Anyways, let's go. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some love. That is Alex. The song is called Light the Match. Let me see. I think My Crimson Farewell is the name of the. I've heard a song before, right, Alex? I see a lot of names, so I get a little bit confused, but I think I've heard a song of yours before. I think. Maybe my brain's making that up though. I was gonna say, I was like, I'm sure I've heard a couple of yours like pretty recently. So I was like, I get confused sometimes with the names, especially when it's just Alex. I was like, I'm pretty positive. Yeah. Okay, let's get back. I was like, I know the band name and everything. So let's dive into a couple details here. Let's run it from the top. We're gonna dive into a few details, mainly on just like space for elements in the mix. Because what's happening is because of how bright the drums are, how the guitars are positioned, how bright those are in some areas, especially in the percussion of the guitars, there's not a lot of space for the vocal to exist. So what ends up happening is that vocal just dives way back in the mix. And then the only choice is either to just make the vocal really loud or to like brighten it to all hell to try to force it over the top, right? In this case, I really want to give your vocal more presence. I really wanted to get it to the forefront of the mix and make sure that there's space in the production for it to exist. Because right now there's not space. And so it's just noise and it's loud, which it should be loud, should be noisy, should be a wall of sound for the style. But I want to make sure that there's enough room while it feels super, super powerful in order for that vocal to coexist with the rest of the production. I don't even think a 2 dB raise would do it because I don't think there's space in the frequency of the structure of the mix for that vocal to exist. So you probably need to get into some like EQing. I would probably suggest some mid-side EQ processing in order to create some space in that space for that vocal in the mix. That'll really help carve out some space on like an instrument bus or a guitar bus, maybe even a percussion bus that's a little bit more specific that offers some space for that vocal to sit in a pocket, and then you can reintroduce that frequency wider in the mix where the vocal isn't as prominent. So let's dive into a couple little details like that. You're totally good, Matthew. You're totally good. You can also hear how on the I think it's probably happening on the master where the compression is getting triggered, maybe even like the limiter is getting triggered, and you hear it kind of ducking and what you would call pumping of the compression right there, where when the bass and the guitars come in, you'll hear like the drums get like a little bit quieter for a second, and then the bass leaves for a second, or the bum, bum, bum leaves, and then the drums get ska, like they get really loud for a second, and then they pump back a little bit. That tells me that like that bass and those guitars are taking up some headroom. It's triggering that triggering the limiter, triggering a compressor on the master. You're getting 5, 6, maybe more dB of compression, and you hear that compression suppressing the mix. And then when those elements that are triggering it leave, it lifts up a little bit in your music, and the certain pockets, certain high-end elements get 5 dB louder all of a sudden. That's because of the pumping of that compression on the master. So make sure that when you're mixing, I would mix a little bit quieter, so you're just not even anywhere near that. Like take everything in the mix down like 4 dB, just so you're not triggering that compressor at all, or very, very little on the master. And anything that you do on the master, you do it super, super tastefully, so you don't hear it. It's a little bit more transparent. So the master is just glue compression, right? You're tying everything together. You're gluing everything together. Outside of that, it's not making any like real major stylistic decisions for you. You can do that on other buses, right? You can do that a little bit earlier in the mix process. But since it's happening on the master, it affects everything. That's the trick with the master, right? Is when that compression is triggered and it starts suppressing your signal, it does it for everything that's happening in the track because it's all feeding that master bus, right? So make sure that you don't have anything in there that is triggering that too hot, right? Pull everything away so that you can mix a little bit quieter. You can always turn up the headphones, mix a little bit farther back so you're not triggering anything on the master. If you are, you're getting like 2 dB of reduction, 3 tops, but like 2 dB. Because there's a couple times where you hear the drums and the guitars like changing loudness constantly in the mix. That either tells me there's triggering happening on the master and or some side chaining that's getting pushed in kind of a really interesting way. Great voice, man. Really, really great voice. I like the wide doubles. That gives the vocal a lot of support in the mix. That's great. So right there, it sounds like there's a lot of layers to that vocal, like really nice harmonies, almost like vocoder style, like really, really cool harmony structures right there. They all get lost. They give it the follow. They all get lost behind that lead vocal structure and it can't compete, right? Again, double to quad tracked guitars, heavy distorted bass, massive sequence drums. Like there's a lot happening in the rest of the production structure. There's no way it can compete with a vocal that's collapsed back to mono. So make sure that those harmonies are panned out a little bit, that you have more positioning support in the mix. Because if it's just vocals down the middle, you can hear how these harmonies immediately take a huge dive. And this whole vocal takes a huge dive back in the mix, which tells me one of two things. One, that those are just, they're all just panned in mono and they need to be panned out a little bit to open up that structure and allow it to compete in the rest of the mix. Or the other is that those have been doubled. Some of those harmonies have been doubled left and right, and they're collapsing to mono because of phase correlation issues, right? So I would just make sure that if you are doubling anything, actually duplicating anything, that you shift energy, you shift timing a little bit, whatever you need to do to make sure that you actually you can distinguish the stereo image that you're looking for within those vocals, and or just make sure that those vocals are panned out a little bit, right? Take some of those harmonies, 25 this way, 50 this way, 75% this way, start to pan them out a little bit so that you can actually feel the energy behind that vocal stack. Because right now it's all collapsed right back down to mono. And I love the harmonies. They're really, really cool. I love what you're doing. The harmonies are all solo, so we can fix it up. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, like you can definitely open that up a little bit as well. Perfect. That makes perfect sense. So yeah, fix that up, position those a little bit better so you can feel them in the mix. That will open up this hook like crazy. And then again, that gives you some support, right? Because right now they just can't compete. It'll give you some support in the mix right there as well. It's a great riff. Like the actual foundational like underlick right there is really nice. Some of these drums too, however they're processed, they feel a little bit over sharp to me. So there's a couple different times within here where they're a little bit, they don't necessarily sound harsh, but they're very sharp, very transient, really, really snappy. You want some of that. Some of that needs to exist in the mix, but I think it's so much through that it kind of takes over, especially when we're trying to give space for that vocal. So if you have an EQ on there and it's cranked up at the high end, or maybe you have some kind of multi-band compression and you're really pushing that top and compressing it and forcing it forward, trying to give it a lot of snap, I think you can soften it slightly, just a little bit. You can just back off of that processing just a little bit. Again, if you're pushing, 8K, 10K for that snap and that brightness at the top, and it's up 7 dB, maybe drop it to 3 or 4, something like that. And not necessarily relying on the EQ or whatever might also be brightening up those drums to allow it to cut, right? Just strategic compression and levels for each of those drums, I think will help it slice through perfectly, because that snare is really, really slicing. It's really, really cutting through. Part of that's good, but part of it is just like it kind of takes over. Okay, and then randomly on the second hook, just really briefly, randomly on the second hook, that the whole vocal structure is actually delayed by like a count, I think. I don't know if it's copied over or recorded over. You can let me know in the chat. But this second hook right here, it's like maybe a quarter of a second later than it is the first time. So let me hear the first one really quick. This one's a little behind the pocket, but I don't mind it, right? You're a couple milliseconds swung in this one. Like it's a couple milliseconds north of the pocket. I don't mind it. It's a little bit slow, but you could notch it back to maybe compensate for some latency or something like that. You could get it a little bit more in line. But the second one right here, you can hear that it's quite a bit later. It's pretty far outside of the grid. Like where the whole kick comes in before the vocal even touches, right? Like, poof, and then you hear it a little bit later. Chris, welcome in. Appreciate you tapping in. You hear it late by quite a bit of energy and quite a bit of time right there. Thank you so much for the follow, Chris. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for the follow on the purple app. So definitely take this part of the hook right here. First hook, I think needs to be back probably 5 to 10 milliseconds. Second hook probably needs to be back like probably 30 milliseconds, 40 milliseconds back, because that swing is making it feel even lazier, but the production is on the grid and it's really high energy. So those drums are programmed, they're sharp, they're right in line. Same with the bass, same with the guitars, they're really in line, they're right on the grid. And then the vocals are coming in 40 milliseconds late. You need to reline that back up so that it feels a little bit cleaner, a little bit sharper, and the energy of the vocal then matches the energy of the production. Otherwise, it's going to swing a little bit too far outside of the grid. So that, like the vocal back in line, clarity for those layers again, where the other pockets, the other layers of your vocal are opened back up again, so you can distinguish them, and then making sure that that vocal can sit in the front of the mix. I do think you'll be in a much better spot for your vocal mix here. Yeah, it's a decent chunk behind. Let me move forward here a little bit. I think I've addressed most of the things that I feel like would be like a good next step for you as far as you building out your mix here. So a little bit of work to do on like EQing, positioning, timing, and stuff like that. But I do think if you can dig into those over the next revision or couple revisions, I do think you can get this into a place where it sounds really vibrant, really heavy, really energetic without being harsh or without being too muddy. Because you want a wall of sound, you want a ton of energy here, but right now you're limited in your ability to actually distinguish all of these different elements in the background. I definitely want you to have that clarity. Like right here, that synth, that synth in the background right there is kind of taking over most of the structure of the mix right there. So that's where, again, mid side can be helpful to like take a lot of that energy between like 600 and 1200 hertz out of that middle channel where the vocal is really sitting in mono. Carve some of that space out, reintroduce it to the outside, outside, open it up a little bit so that that vocal can sing, and really shine right there in the middle of the mix. I also would probably dig in just really, really lightly manual corrections to this lead vocal right here, since it's sitting on its own so much. A lot of even like the natural, nuances and flaws are coming out a little bit more just because of, how it's been tracked right here. And I would love there's a couple little moments where the vocal is a little bit flat, which I don't mind. I'm not looking for a perfect sterile robotic vocal. That's not what you're going for here. But there's a couple times where it is a little bit flat. There's a little bit like extra wobble and modulation in the vocal. And I would love to just tighten it up just a little bit. Melodyne would be great for this, where you can control some of that modulation. You can control some of those flat notes and just kind of drag them where they need to be. Without it affecting the entire vocal structure, and without having to like auto-tune everything if that's not what you're looking for, if it's not the effect that you want. So manual control of just like a note here or there, I think it would be helpful to just polish this because the vocal is really sitting on its own with this kind of like FM synth in the background. So some clarity there, I do think would be nice as well.
Feel the flames falling over me.
Like that, I want that pocket right there to feel a lot more confident. It feels a little uncertain in the timing, a little bit uncertain in like the way that you're emoting and expressing right there. Like I want to, I think it's in F major. So this D minor. Hold on, I'm running over stuff here. On the D minor that you have, yeah, D minor. That little pocket right there, I want that to feel a little bit more pointed, right? So the I want that to feel a little bit more control, a little bit more energy behind that performance so that people feel the emotion behind it. It falls a little bit back, and then we can have a little bit more control. So I wouldn't even mind if you didn't retrack this little pocket right here, because it's a great little interlude. It's a great bridge, but it is lacking a little bit of, I think, the energy of the rest of the song. And by energy, I don't just mean like loud and hyped. I just mean like emotion, right? And actually like portraying the emotion that you're trying to. Let me skip into the last section here. I think most of that is the stuff I want to cover, but I hope that makes sense. I hope that's helpful in some way. And right here, strangely enough, the vocal is actually faster in the pocket, just for a moment, just for this like last half of the hook, right? So revisiting some of your like tempo and timing structure in the production, like for your vocal production, is going to be really important because first hook is fine. 5 to 10 milliseconds, you know, behind the pocket. Second hook is like 30 to 40 milliseconds behind the pocket. Last half of your last hook, you're probably 10, 15 milliseconds in front of the pocket. So it's actually a little bit rushed. So getting into the timing structure is going to be important because that changes the whole energy of the track. It changes how people perceive the emotion in it. And it is going to make a big difference in how people feel the song based on how fast or how slow you're singing and where that fits in the pocket. So even this last little hook here, you can hear where it's a little bit rushed. I'll play it again, and then we'll move on to the next track. But the song, I like it. I like the structure. I like the song. I like the energy of it. The production structure is dope. It's heavy. It's doing a lot of the things you want it to do. But these little small details to me are going to be some of those roadblocks to people feeling all of the really cool dynamic things that you're doing. So that's why I really do think it matters. Let's go, man. Y'all show some love to Alex. Alex, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for sending this in. I mean, y'all have a lot of talent, man. Y'all have a lot of talent. I mean, tone-wise, I think are really good. I think structure-wise, I think things are fantastic. There's a lot of energy in here. How do you feel about a music box outro? You're talking about like the fade kind of here at the end. I don't mind that one bit. I would just slow it down. It's a little abrupt. So like I would rather, I'm going to play it early in the hook and show you how slow I would do it. It just happens a little fast, like within like 4 seconds. I would just probably spread it out to like 8 seconds. I would do it more like this. And then, now you take like 7, 8 seconds to finish out that last little outro right there, as opposed to this happening like pretty quick. I'm sorry, I gotta turn it back up 1 sec. How do you feel about how do you feel about a music box outro? Yeah, no fade to start, just transition to music box and then fade. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's interesting. Yeah, I think whatever you do, just again, kind of like we're talking about the bridge in the middle there, the timing. I just want it to feel intentional. I think when things feel kind of second guessed, they feel uncertain, they feel unstable. It's like you can feel that, you can sense that in the song, as opposed to like distinct decisions that are like on purpose. They're intentional. This is what I wanted to do. Whether people like it or not is a different story, but the intention, the idea feels really intentional. So yeah, I think if we go to like a music box at the end, like something really light and eerie and kind of contrasted with the rest of the production, like the rest of those dynamics that you have, I think you can absolutely do that. Do a big build up at the end, and then bring it all the way down to just like a really light music box like tone, kind of eerie. You can definitely do that. 100% do that. I think that'd be a great idea. You also some love to Alex. Alex, I appreciate you so much, man. For one, thank you for sending this in. It's a really great structure. A lot of talent across the board through musicianship, writing, structure. I think it's really well done. If you can work on some of the polish and intentionality in those middle sections, dude, I think you're gonna have a really great idea and great structure on your hands. 100%. The execution is good. People liking it or not won't matter as much. They'll respect it. Yep, that's true. Okay, let's keep it going really quick. Let me double check something really quick. Marinez, I just got yours in. Marinez, let me see that real quick. Let me double check where we're at. We got 2 more songs, y'all. We got 2 more songs. We're at the very end of the live stream right now. Okay, Marinez, I just got your 15 right now, since we're on our last 2 and the rest of the submissions are a lot higher than that. The minimum is 25. Let me know if you want to do that or if you want me to hold it for tomorrow. Right now it is Nova and Retrack at the top. If you want to be next, it would be 30. It's up to you, obviously, completely up to you. 30 would be next, or 25 would put you after Nova, currently speaking. Which of course that changes as people kind of submit and move through the line. Just because I only have 2 songs left, so the minimums are a little bit higher. And just so y'all know too, the line is always up on the other platforms as well. So the line is always up on the other platforms that we're live on. That's the red app and the purple app. If you want to check them out over there, so you can see. But yeah, let me know what you want to do. And otherwise I will, unless you want to skip straight to the top, then you can let me know. Yeah, you can, Matthew. I'm going to close it after. Actually, I'm going to close the line now. I just need to see where Marinez is going to go. So let me go ahead and close this real quick. And I'll close over here so we can get into these last 2 songs, and then we'll be back. I will be back live again tomorrow. So for anyone who's not heard, of course, today, as we say in the forum, we'll make sure that you are ready to go. We'll we'll line everything up tomorrow. And hopefully we can get into a good spot as well. Let me see. Marina's got you. Okay, let's run it. I'm trying to move at a good pace, which we have. We've gone through a lot of songs today, which is very exciting. And we got the family in the building. All right, so Marina's, let's run it. I appreciate you so much, man. I'm always so excited to hear what you're working on, man. Marina's is a great artist. Really, really talented. So let's run it. Boom, already cleared. Let's get it. Yeah, anybody can add. Anyone can move. The line is done now, so no one new can come into the line. But if you're in that line, you can always move yourself around. You can always, make yourself go faster if you want to. All right, we got Marina's in the building. This is called La La La. The one I sent, definitely different from my usual. Chose to experiment a little bit. I like to hear that, man. Let's go. I'm always excited to hear something from Marina. So yeah, talk to, the deal better than most here. You've been here for a minute. Talk to me about production. Talk to me about mix. Details like that. And let's dive into it. This is La 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 by Marinez. Hold on, let me restart it because it clears the audio, which is weird for whatever reason on Apple.
Slide in the scene like a lean with a daydream. Whisper in your ear, paint it clear, make it widescreen. Champagne bubbles make the mood feel high class. Velvet on your body, every curve like a wine glass. Baby, don't tease, put that body in my hands now. Speak dirty secrets while I slide them pants down. Sipping on you slow, every taste like a fine.
That's a different feel for you for sure.
Baby, keep it on time. Hands on your thighs, let me hear that body talk. Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that.
Do you have the multi-track or just a 2-track?
Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that note.
Got you. I probably would, because there's some weird positioning here that I think would be beneficial for you to have some control over. So I would probably recommend it.
Soaking up the sheets, make a player wanna replay. Bend you like a beat, let me sample that frame though. Hit it from the back, make it clap to the tempo. Sweat drip slick, let it run down your neckline. Stroke game vicious, got you hooked on the next line. Bedroom concert, neighbors all front row. Voice and falsetto hit the high when I go slow. Hands on your thighs, let me hear the body talk. Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that note. Hands on your thighs, let me hear that body.
Perfect. Awesome.
Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that note. Let your body ride the beat. Hands on your curves, feel the fire underneath. Nails in my back,
Dang.
pleasure and pain. Pull you in close, let me drive you insane. Skin to skin, let the rhythm take lead. Every move.
Wait, what'd you do on the hook?
Your needs go in deep so your soul can feel it. Lose yourself, baby girl, now sing it.
Oh, I got you. I was like, hold on, what do you mean? That's funny. Let's go. Y'all show some love to the family Marinez. I'm gonna move at a good pace. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. And then currently speaking, again, line is closed, but anyone can move around if they want to. Right now, I think Nova's closing us out. And then I think I had MSP, Krista, and Machu might be safe. Again, any of y'all can move if you want to. That's up to y'all. But let's close this out here. This is Marina's La La La. Let's dive in, man. I'm excited. It's a cool structure for you. I feel like your vocal works well in this style. I do want you to have control over the multi-track though, just because there are some like interesting positioning things, like mono versus stereo things that I feel like don't really offer a lot to the mix that would sound way more powerful if processed differently. Like that bass is pushed super, super wide in stereo, and opened like all the way up to the outside channel. So like I'm not getting any like sub energy just hitting me in the chest. You know what I mean? Like I want that low end to like feel really, really locked in and feel heavy and feel energetic. And right now, because of where it's at, everything kind of just feels pushed to the outside. So I would love for you to get access to that bass, shrink it closer to mono, and then like saturate it well and push it forward so it still feels heavy. It's still, you know, when it boom, 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 it still feels really, really energetic right there. Okay, I'm going to drop this into Pro Tools really fast just because that will help me get an idea of like where some of that is sitting. So let's see. There it is right here. So let's drop it over here real quick. We'll switch over. Give it a second. Boom. It'll pop up for us. And let's see what we're dealing with here.
Slide in the scene like a lean with a daydream. Whisper in your ear, paint it clear, make it widescreen. Champagne bubbles make the mood feel high class. Velvet on your body, every curve like a wine glass. Baby, don't tease, put that body in my hands now. Speak dirty secrets while I slide them pants down. Sipping on you slow, every taste like a fine wine. Moan in the melody, baby, keep it on time. Hands on your thighs, let me hear that body talk. Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke.
Okay, let's look at a couple of things here. So we're gonna go to the imager here. And basically all I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a couple notches here to kind of determine where I want some of these subs to hit. So I'm going to take 100 hertz below. I'm actually going to use this knob right here or this fader on the far left in order to drop it back. And then I'm going to add another one from like 200 to probably about 400. We're going to push about 5% and then we'll open up actually I don't need to open up the top at all. You can see all the stereo information right here, but this one at the bottom, which is all sub information, we're going to close it up a little bit. So that sub harmonics are going to be pulled back into mono.
Slide in the scene like a lean with a daydream. Whisper in your ear.
So you can hear where that's out. Pulling all of that out of mono here. I'm sorry, out of stereo. Let's introduce a little bit more. Let's go about 50%. And I'm going to raise this up to maybe like 120. Yeah, at about 140, I think is probably good. We can push this up to about 500. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. The other platforms, obviously, it'll be a little bit more open, but it'll make a difference regardless. This is where I would take it, right? So let's.
Bubbles make the mood feel high class. Velvet on your body, every curve like a wine glass.
Yeah.
Baby, don't tease, put that body in my hands now. Speak dirty secrets while I slide them pants down. Sipping on you slow, every taste like a fine wine. Moan in the melody, baby, keep it on time. Hands on your thighs, let me hear.
So I'm actually pulling the outside in a little bit too. Like, and I'll A and B a couple of things here.
High class, velvet on your body, every curve like a wine glass. Baby, don't tease, put that body in my hands now. Speak dirty secrets while I slide them pants down. Sipping on you slow, every taste like a fine wine. Moan in the melody, baby, keep it on time. Hands on your thighs, let me hear that body talk. Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in.
Bringing in back some of this energy right here, right? Some of this energy in the low mids, it's missing a little bit.
Make the mood feel high class. Velvet on your body, every curve like a wine glass. Baby, don't tease, put that body in my hands now. Speak dirty secrets while I slide.
Like low end of the vocal right there.
Bubbles make the mood feel high class. Velvet on your body, every curve like a wine glass. Baby, don't tease, put that body in my hands now. Speak dirty secrets while I slide them pants down. Sipping on you slow, every taste like a fine wine. Moan in the melody, baby, keep it on time. Hands on your thighs, let me hear that body talk. Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that note. Hands on your thighs, let me hear that body talk. Arch that back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that note.
Crunch it up a little bit right there. I cut the fluid immediately after the song. I haven't been able to record for a month. Dang, dude, that's no fun. That is no fun at all. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. That is very, very unfortunate. I need to go retouch in the studio for sure. Yeah, I think you could probably go in and be a little bit more intentional behind. I want to get more. I mean, I've heard a lot of your music, man, and you're really, really talented. You're really, really prolific at what you do. I want to hear a little more attitude out of this. I get the attitude from the production. I get it through some of the sampling, and through some of your lyric structure. So when you go into like touch up and comp in again and punch in again, I would definitely definitely come in with like a little bit more attitude, a little bit more punch, a little bit more drive, not just energy, not just louder and whatever, but like a little more swag, a little bit more, a little bit more grit. Like it feels a little bit red, a little bit script. And I know what you're capable of, which is why I'm saying this, right? I know what you're capable of. I want it to feel a little, I want it to feel like a little bit sexier, a little bit smoother. You know what I mean? So not necessarily power, grit, tension, but just I want to feel like the mood a little bit more. I want to feel a little bit more of the attitude in it. So if you are able to go back and retouch a little bit, that's what I would lean into, because this production has that potential. Your lyric structure, of course, has that potential. So I think if you can come in with like a little bit more attitude, like a little bit more flexed, you know what I mean? I think you're going to be in a good spot. Just so it doesn't, so that there's no chance that it feels red. There's no chance that it feels scripted. There's no chance that it feels like it doesn't have the energy that you're trying to put forward, if that makes sense. All right, I'm going to A-B this just real quick.
Feel high class, velvet on your body, every curve like a wine glass. Baby, don't tease, put that body in my hands now. Speak dirty secrets while I slide.
It's super subtle. You're not going to be able to hear it on TikTok. TikTok's not going to, it's like a bad compression on TikTok. But I think what I'm looking for, and then I would look for in the multi-track, you can do a little bit of this on the master, but it's not obviously not going to be ideal. Is to just bring some of that sub bass, like 100 hertz and below, 140 hertz below in this case is where I had it, and put that back in mono so the bass isn't split open. It's all trying to hit you way out here, right? Like I would love to get that down to the middle so that bass, when it kicks in, hits you in the chest, right? It feels heavy. It feels really, really energetic. And then some of these other elements can feel wide, but all of it feels wide right now. Like all of the synths, all of the things feel like they're pushed all the way to the outside versus like some in the middle, some a little bit to the outside, some 20%, 40%, 50%, some forward, some back. They're all just kind of pushed wide. So I would get the multi-track. I would dig into it and just give it a fair shot at positioning. Right now, what's in the original production is just smacked to the outside. Just probably had a widener on the master, so a stereo widener on the master, pushed everything to the outside, and then that was game over, right? So I would, positioning to me is going to be huge on the stereo field. Optimization is going to be huge. So we feel your vocal in the middle, the kick and the bass smacks us in the chest. We feel the groove. We really feel the energy. That snare has a little bit more impact to it. I would love a little bit more low end in that snare, a little bit more like low mid, maybe a little bit of saturation. So that really cracks when it kicks in. Little things, right? Little things in the positioning and processing of the mix to really get this sharp and punchy. And it doesn't feel like everything's been moved out of the way, because the possibilities are there. Like the potential is beyond there. The song structure is great. Had another I recorded first the same day, half at least. I gave that one all the dude. It happens. There's been times where I've like worked with people where we've done like a couple sessions in a day, or like we've like been writing all day, and like our third song sucks. It just does. The third song's the worst one because we're like ready to get out of here. We need to eat. We're all tired. We're dehydrated. Like I need more caffeine. Whatever. Like it happens, dude. It happens. So yeah, I think one revisiting of at least like your two verses or something like that, to just give it a fresh cut. Just give it a fresh cut that feels like it's got a little bit more attitude, a little more energy to it. I feel like you'll be in a good spot. Let me chop through a few little details here, but those couple details right there to me can kind of transform the way this feels. And it's already a good song. Like you said, as a foundation, like if it's a good song, it's a good structure, you can get away with a lot. But I think we can still polish a little bit of that. I built the song off K-pop structure, verse, pre-chorus, hook, verse, pre-chorus, hook, bridge, hook, 100%. That's classic. Yep, 100%. And the hook being like a dance breakdown, like there's a lot of, when you look at like K-pop and C-pop and stuff like that, you're getting a lot of kind of a hybridizing between like trap and like EDM culture, right? You're getting like a lot of the mainstream, like is it Stray Kids, BTS, like stuff like that. Like a lot of that stuff is a hybridizing between like trap, hip hop, even some like reggaeton sometimes, and then like EDM house breakdowns. So you're gonna get these like instrumental breakdowns that are for dancing, they're for the club and stuff like that. This is a great example of that, right? So building out a structure that respects that and gives people space to move. It's good for content. It's good for you reaching out to people, seeing if they'll dance on your record and stuff like that. Yep, 100%. All right, I want to dive into the hook really quick because I have an idea. Let me just hear something.
Curve like a wine glass, baby, don't stack when we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that note. Hands on your thighs, let me hear that body talk.
Last thing, and then we'll close up with the last song.
Stand back while we move in the dark. Breathing in my ear, got you singing when I stroke. Say my name, baby, hit that note.
Okay, so what I think this needs in order for you to really stay in the structure and for it to become even more catchy for people is to have another you have filters in the background, like you have vocals floating back there, those ad libs. I think you need a lead still that does a baby, give me that note or something like that, or give me that note, just to give me that note right there on in between the A and B section of the hook. I think if it's just that lead vocal and just little filtered vocals, I don't think it has nearly as much punch and impact. I think people are going to still want to hear you as that lead artist beyond the backgrounds, like you as the lead artist, like telling them what to do, right? You're dictating dance, you're dictating kind of the flow of this, the movement in the club, stuff like that. So like, I still want to hear like in between. Yeah, 100%. All genres that hit that note, right? Filters are fine here. Perfectly fine. Baby, hit that note, no. You know what I mean? Like, but a full voice, not filtered in the background, not just noise, but like a forward lead vocal that gives you a baby, hit that note. And that's right there at the front. That gives you, again, that determines the hook, that sets the stage for the other vocals that come into the background. I think you just copy that over or record another one there that maybe has a slightly different energy. But I think we need to like reintroduce a vocal. Otherwise, it's just the la-la-las for that time frame. And the backgrounds are kind of, they're there and they exist to fill space, but they don't really have a lot of impact on what's happening at the front of the mix. So I would love to hear a little bit more of that energy in the back. Not in the back, I'm sorry. Hear a little bit more of that energy at the front, just on your like transitions of the hit that note. If that's your tag, if that's your hook, have the hit that note at the forefront as you transition there. Let me hear in the second hook here. That note. Just open up here again. Baby, hit that note. Like have another stack right there in your voice, obviously doing what you do with that kind of an energy. It needs some separation between some of these different moments because this is a good breakdown, but it's still really smooth, right? Like we need something to kind of break it up. Like it's not like an EDM trap breakdown, right? It's still really boom, 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 boom. It's still very smooth and very even, although it's still pretty impactful. So I think something to break that up would be nice.
Let your body ride the beat. Hands on your curves, feel the fire underneath. Nails in my back, little pleasure and pain. Pull you in close, let me drive you insane. Skin to skin, let the rhythm take lead. Every move we make fulfills your needs. Go in deep so your soul can feel it. Lose yourself, baby girl, now sing it.
Like leading into this last breakdown, you could probably have a little bit more energy behind that vocal, like girl, just sing it. Like it can feel really laid back for how much energy you're like telling people to have, if that makes sense. Like we're telling people to have, to dance, to move, to like all this stuff. It can feel a little, I know a lot of that's your typical vocal texture, but we should have a couple moments where you give it a little bit more action, a little bit more energy right there, at least leading into like your last hook so that it doesn't feel like you're super lax, but you're like wanting people to move, right? There's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot between the two that I think we can lean into just a little bit more. And then here, baby, give me that no, give me that no. You know, we can add some energy and some texture there that I think, you know, you do that however you want to, but like I think there's a way that we can like keep that vocal in there, like give me that no. Like we find something that makes it a little bit more engaging, at least on your last hook, right? At least on your last breakdown, but potentially in between some of your earlier ones too. That again keeps you in the flow a little bit more while still like respecting the genre. You know what I mean? Baby, give me that. No. It's a vibe, man. I know we're talking a lot of details. It's a vibe. It's a good structure. Catchy. Yeah, show some, man. Marinez, you're amazing, man. Seriously, very, very, very talented. Love and appreciate what you do, man. Good lyricism, good structure. It's very, very catchy. Good repetition. The formatting is addicting, and that's the whole purpose of this structure, right? It's addicting to listen to. Great repetition and great, pattern recognition for people as well. So, man, keep pumping out what you're doing. Get the multi-track for this. I do think you should get the multi-track for this. Probably spend another half day in the studio or something, or even maybe less, but a fresh day in the studio where you can maybe retrack the verses or something like that in an interlude vocal and then have it all mixed in beautifully, nice and wide, nice and punchy, reposition where like some of those basses and drums are. I think you'll be in a great spot, man. It's a good structure for sure. For sure, for sure. But y'all show some love to the family. Marinez is one of the OGs, so show some love to Marinez. Always appreciate when you come in, man, and you grace us with your art and your presence, man. So thank you so much for hopping through, man. I appreciate it a lot. Let's close it up really quick. We're going to close it up with Nova. Nova, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. This is going to be our last track of the day, and then we will be live again tomorrow. We'll open up the lines again, hopefully take another batch. And again, I was on a little bit later today, just finishing up some other work. So again, another little bit, a bit of a later live, but I'm still getting through 8 songs today. So I'm going to try to do maybe 10 or 12 tomorrow if I can. Nova's in the building. Let's go, Nova. Shouts to you as well, man. Appreciate you so much. Always good to see that name in the chat. Let's see. Nova's from a couple days ago, so let me just see here real quick. It might be under a different name because when I search Nova, nothing comes up. So give me 1 sec. What would the name potentially be that it's under? Let's see. And this is our last one, y'all. Last one of the day, and then we'll open it up again. We'll open it up again tomorrow. That's catchy. It's catchy as hell. Yeah, let me know if it's under a different name because I'm not seeing it under Nova, but it could be something else. Let me know. And when I search Nova, it didn't pop up. Oh, no. I see this here. Is it Underworld? The Underworld? Is that the right one? Or is that a different one? Yeah. I have one email pulled up. I'm just making sure it's the right song. Terminite, Underworld, featuring Slugs. Ugh. Perfect. All right, let's close it out. Let's close it out, man. I've been working it's been a long day. It's been a very, very long day, and I still did about 3.5 or 4 hours today, probably in total. All right, so this is a dubstep artist, Teminite started a remix contest for a song Underworld featuring Slugs. So this is the remix I made and submitted to him. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. This is Teminite by Slugs, the Underworld Nova remix. Let's get into it. We're gonna close it up right here. Y'all got to get out of here, and then we'll hopefully be live for a decent amount of time tomorrow. I've just got a ton of work. I got to figure out tomorrow some projects I need to catch up on. So let's get into it. This is Underworld, the Nova remix. Heavy, man. Let's go. Crazy Nova. crazy, Nova. Yeah, this is wild. Damn, let's go. Y'all show some love, man. That the cheer. Where's the cheer? There's the cheer. Y'all show some love. That is the real Nova. They're over on the Red app right now, but please show some love to the family. That is a Temanite and Slugs remix called Underworld by Nova. Let's run it from the top and let's dive into some of the details here, man. But this sounds really, really nice. I mean, it sounds full. I think you're doing everything that you're wanting with this track really, really well. As far as just like a sharp, wide, crazy, noisy, cinematic, operatic remix right here. I think it sounds nuts, man. I think it sounds nuts. So let's run it from the top. Let's dive into some of the details. But y'all please show some love to Nova with... It keeps playing automatically. Sorry. I keep trying to pause it. But please show some love to Nova here in the chat as well. Let's get into it, man. I appreciate it. And thank you for your patience as well. I know it's been 4 or 5 days, so thank you for your patience. Let's get it. This intro is crazy too. Okay, perfect. I was gonna say they're really clean. I was gonna say a lot of that vocal structure is like really well positioned and stuff, so it didn't sound like it was separated. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you use like AI separation and stuff. Like that sounds like pretty clean. I was gonna say that sounds like really well established, which usually would tell me. Why does it keep doing that every time I move this? Usually tells me that it's like a pretty clean track out. Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense, definitely. You're still getting really good dynamic. I like this a lot, man. I like this a lot. You're getting really good dynamic range, still getting good clarity for a lot of these vocals in the middle of a very crazy, noisy, busy, heavy mix. You're doing a great job, Nova. This is very solid. Sometimes, I mean, this is loose, take this with a grain of salt. Because honestly, like if I were to step back as just an audience of this music, I would just love it, right? Like I'm listening as an engineer, and it's half of why we're here. But like, if I'm just listening to this objectively, it sounds really cool, and I wouldn't even think for a second about it. There's sometimes like in this little pocket right here, I kind of wish those little choir stabs were like another 2 dB louder, because they add a really cool energy in the stereo field when they pop in. I love the way that they're kind of eerie, they're dark, they're moody. I like it. I would love to open up some of that structure on the outside right there. They still work. They still pop up in a really good space. I kind of wish I had a little bit more out of that. Can I have feedback as well? I'm a producer and a songwriter. Chris, I would love to. I'm going to be live again tomorrow. This is our last song for today. This is our last one, but I will be live again tomorrow, early after, like sometime afternoon Central Time. So would absolutely love to hear what you got, man. I'm open to any genre, any level of quality, any style. Yeah, this is our last one. This is our last one. I didn't update the board. Sorry, I need to update that last line right there. But yeah, we're closed for tonight. I'll be live again tomorrow afternoon Central Time. I'm not sure on the exact hour. Depends on projects and stuff like that. But we will definitely be live again tomorrow for sure. So definitely tap in, man. I would absolutely love to hear what you got in, like I said, any genre at all. Hey, you as well, man. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for tapping in today. Thank you very much. Seriously, I've actually been spending some time to make my guitar stuff more clarity for the future, so it isn't too noisy. Yeah, and there's pros and cons, right? Sometimes that heaviness and that noise is part of the magic of a genre too, right? It really just depends on what you're going for. But I mean, this feels heavy. It feels open. It feels busy and all that. It's a wall of sound. But I do think you're doing a great job of maintaining some separation. But yeah, I think there could be space for those choirs to stab in when it's already crazy, right? Like when things are a little bit simpler, obviously, like the intro, you can hear everything with a lot more clarity. When everything goes crazy, obviously it's just harder to gain space right there. But I think it could be nice to give it a little bit more room right there. Otherwise, man, I think it sounds fantastic. So like right there, when everything comes in, that vocal dive. So honestly, overall, loosely speaking, with a little bit of nuance here, overall, I wouldn't mind for all of these vocals to be forward, maybe like 2-3 dB. Because even I hear, oh no, dun, 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 dun. Like this whole structure right here, you'll feel that vocal kind of dive to the back of the mix. And I wish it was there with a little bit more prominence, so it still stayed on top of that heaviness that we have. It's fine here, but when everything comes in, the vocal's almost non-existent until you really start to pick out some of those melody changes. So I do think a little bit of a lift right there could be helpful, or just covering some space in the EQ of the track itself, or like your buses themselves for that vocal to sit there. Beyond that, I very, 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 you don't need much editing on this at all. Dang, really? That's crazy. That's good. That being the case, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah, give it a little bit of space. You can carve a little bit of room on your synth buses or guitar buses. Jesus, I need to be off. The synth buses in the background, guitar buses, between 600, 800 to 1,000 hertz, kind of in that pocket. You can carve a little bit of space there, and the vocal will sit in a little bit easier. But you could probably still push them a little bit higher if you wanted to. Crazy. Crazy. You lose a little bit of low end on your A section here. Nothing too crazy. But again, I think it's just kind of small little rebalancing things. But the fact this is your first time mixing vocals, largely speaking, and the amount of energy that you have in this mix, I think you're doing a fantastic job, man. You should be really proud of this. Wild. Y'all show some love. Show some love to Nova. They're over on the Red app right now. Please show some love and support. Let people know where they can find you as well, Nova. If there's stuff on platforms, your social medias and social platforms and stuff like that. Show some love to Nova, man. That's impressive, man. That's a really, really cool production structure. Y'all give it up to the family, man. Thank you for your patience as well. I know it's been a couple days. That is going to close us up tonight. Funny enough, the drops in this are actually me imitating the original drops and basses and rhythm patterns, just with different, with like a different production structure. So if you were to listen to the original, there actually isn't much difference. Just your sound design baked over the track, right? That's killer, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's going to close us up, y'all. Really quickly before we head out. Nova's got music on all platforms and an album coming on April 30th. So just about a month and a half away, he's got an album coming. So y'all please tap in for that. Make sure that you're following on all social platforms as well so you can stay in touch with what they're doing. A quick spiel before we hop off. If you are ever interested in the stuff that I do for a living, whether that's mixing and mastering, full production packages, or session work, synths, live drums, vocals, electric, acoustic, and bass guitars, stuff like that, then definitely shoot me a message on any other platform. I would love to contact you and get in contact with you and talk through whether it's a good fit as a project, and then of course from there, budget and timeline and stuff like that. So I love and appreciate y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your night, and hopefully we'll see some of y'all tomorrow. Peace.